on NBC.
Hi, I'm Dr. Laura from the Dr. Laura Show on Triumph 111. If you're like me, you might be looking for great things to listen to while you're at home. Whether you're working, exercising, looking for a distraction, or just want to relax. Now you can listen to SiriusXM shows and performances on demand with your Alexa device. For example, just say, Alexa, play the latest Dr. Laura Show on SiriusXM. Go to SiriusXM.com/Alexa to learn more.
Capital One knows life doesn't alert you about your credit card.
Hey, couch surfers, we've got nonstop tunes to keep you rocking while you work. Oh, and Colleen, yes, you Colleen with a K. Your free trial of Movie Plus ends tomorrow, and your card may be charged. Do you want to continue or cancel?
So meet Eno, the Capital One assistant. Eno looks out for surprise charges, like when free trials expire, and helps if you need to fix them. Eno, another way Capital One is watching out for your money when you're not. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Limitations apply.
America in 2020 is facing a crisis. Business has been booming, but the coronavirus has ground it to a halt. However, America is still the #1 oil and gas producer in the world, and energy consumption is not going away. It's Mark from the Smart Oil and Gas Show in Dallas, Texas. Investing in oil and gas wells can still be a great option to diversify your portfolio, increase monthly income, and get great tax breaks. Visit our website at smartoilandgas.com to request a free insider's guide to learn how oil and gas investments could help you reduce your tax bill and build incredible wealth. Call us at 833-645-4500. That's 833-645-4500.
Investments in oil and gas are speculative and should be considered carefully with your tax and investment professionals.
This is professional golfer Mark O'Mara. You've heard me talk about Celebrity Greens, the company that builds championship-level synthetic putting greens at the homes of amateurs and professional golfers all across North America. Celebrity Greens is known for their great design, the use of the best materials, and the amazingly high-quality installations. Their greens look great and perform like natural greens that I've played on my entire career. Now, Celebrity Greens is looking for additional sales and construction partners. If you're involved in the synthetic turf business or a contractor looking to expand your business or an entrepreneur, give Celebrity Greens a call today. They are currently expanding across North America, and they will be opening new markets soon. And if you're an avid golfer wanting the convenience and the beauty of a custom green or a beautiful low-maintenance lawn in your own backyard, you should call them too. Contact Celebrity Greens at 1-888-507-7960 or visit them online at celebritygreens.com. Celebrity Greens, redefining private golf all across North America. Visit them online at celebritygreens.com. Celebrity Greens.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
The anthem wasn't a big deal. And then all of a sudden it was a showcase because somebody was going to sing it. Or you'd have the flyover, we'd be able to show off the military. I don't remember when I was growing up that the anthem was a big deal. Where I'd go, oh, this is a big ceremony here. But that was when I was younger. But now it is a big deal.
Dan Patrick.
The Dan Patrick Show. Weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on SiriusXM Channel 211 and on the SiriusXM app.
This, I love it, is the Rich Eisen Show.
I'm waiting to hear what happened.
Jeepers, are we on already? I was waiting for Dr. Fauci to call in and tell us we couldn't do a show today. Hello there, welcome. It is a thirsty Thursday, Harry Mays. I'm feeling a little thirsty right now. You thirsty? Let's crack one open early.
It's never too early on a Thursday, Tony. It really isn't, especially like you said, when Dr. Fauci comes out and makes another proclamation that affects the sports world.
Exactly. Listen, I used to listen to Dr. Fauci, and we all took his advice. But now he's picking on football. And again, he's a doctor. I respect him. But this guy has flip-flopped more than the fish on the deck in the opening of the SpongeBob cartoon hour. You know, if nautical nonsense is something you wish, then drop on the deck and flop like a fish.
Wow.
Dr. Fauci has flopped more than LeBron James and Vlade Divac combined.
I knew it.
I mean, come on.
I knew it.
I threw Vlade Divac in
I
there,
know,
too. I mean, he was the
yeah.
original flop.
Right,
and he
right.
did it with a carton of Camels
He
rolled
did.
up
Rolled
under
up in
his
his
sleeve.
jersey.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
I mean, that's hard to do.
It is.
It's hard to flop when you got cigarettes rolled
I think
up.
he'd flop with a cigarette in his mouth
If
at
the
times.
NBA allowed it.
Yeah.
Now you can wait. Now you can smoke weed in the NBA and flop, and it doesn't matter.
Right.
Unless because you're in the bubble and everything's safe down there. So we'll get to Dr. Fauci. I said I'm the original Dr. Grouchy.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've been more accurate than Dr. Fauci has. But we'll get into that, Harry, because we got big news. Just like every day, baseball, once again, seems to be trying to get out of its own way. And just when you thought it was safe to go back into the water, they tell you can't go to the beach. And now, according to Jeff Passan, who will be on this show later on, Harry,
right,
from ESPN, the Players Association is finalizing a proposal to the Major League Baseball owners that the season. Now, guess what the season is? The proposal is, Harry,
from the Players Association.
Yes.
Okay, I would say since the Major League Baseball's proposal was 60 games.
Yes.
I'd say this is probably 70 plus.
Well, you're close, Harry. It's in the neighborhood.
Oh.
Now that's what it's in. It's like, the slide at second base, the tag on
Oh,
the
yeah,
double
yeah.
play.
The
It's
neighborhood play.
In the neighborhood
yeah, you don't
play.
have to really touch him because
No, exactly.
your
Hey.
ball and his jersey were in the neighborhood.
I love the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Speaking of neighborhoods, let's go into Mr. Robinson's neighborhood, kids.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? I was gone for a bit, but it's now I'm all right. My neighbors was all black, but now they white. So the check cashing place turned into a bank. Elevator works and the stairs they don't stink. The white people came and changed everything, but I am still your neighbor.
There you have it, everybody, in the neighborhood.
God, I love those days.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that was when he came back and,
Yeah.
and hosted the show last season.
Right. But
And, of course, he did Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood almost every week back. And the last time Saturday Night Live was funny
Was
and
actually
relevant.
good. Yeah.
That was the last time, I think, that era.
Wow.
But anyway, enough about that. That's when Eddie Murphy was funny and didn't bow to the mob. Pretty much like this show. We don't bow to anybody, Harry. Except select females if they come in the studio.
If they want it, they get it.
Exactly right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So anyway, when I saw that in the neighborhood of 70 games, you know how my mind works.
Yeah,
Harry.
I know.
So does my doctor, and so does Robin. But Robin didn't get it right away. And you know who else didn't get it?
Who?
Ryan Rothstein, the producer.
What?
He knew the Mr. Rogers, but he didn't know Mr. Robinson.
I did.
Yeah, well, you did, of course, because you're older.
No, I was with you. I just admittedly didn't know the Eddie Murphy bit.
Oh, man.
Like, I never even saw that.
I hate to do it to you, man, this early in the show. I mean, they've been running reruns of Saturday Night Live for the last 50 years. It's been on.
And especially the last 4 months.
Exactly.
On networks.
When was the last time Saturday Night Live was actually worth watching?
When Eddie Murphy
was on it.
Yeah.
Right. Which is what year?
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. Those are the best ofs. They show those. Just like they show the classics. There hasn't been a classic Saturday Night Live episode in decades.
That's what I'm saying.
So, but you can still see them because they're showing the reruns, which are the best of shows. Sort of like this show. We can take every show every day and throw it back up there as a best one. You know what I'm saying? A best of.
We should just do that.
Yeah, let's
I
just
like the shirt you got on today,
I got this
too,
Do
by the
Not
way.
shirt.
Now, is that available at TonyBrunoShow.com?
No, but it should be. We got to put this one up on the poll, Guillermo.
Yeah.
So I was in a local bar here when bars were open, Stogie Joe's.
It's right around the corner
Yeah, it's
here.
a great little
Yeah.
spot. Make a nice. They make great pizza.
Yeah.
It's cash only though.
Okay.
So you go in there and they have an ATM machine which wasn't blown up by the way in the riots a couple of weeks ago.
So you're saying it's a front?
It's not a front.
Oh.
But when you go in, you go and you spend $120 on cocktails and some good pasta and some good pizza.
They won't take a debit
stromboli.
card.
No.
Wow.
Cash.
Okay.
Cash only.
So
So you
cash
gotta go.
homie.
got to go into the ATM, which is a non-brand, and so you got to pay all the different fees.
A $6 fee.
Exactly
Yeah.
right. Although when they come back, it'll probably be a $12 fee once the mayor tacks on more charges because he's $100 million in the hole, Harry. And you're going to pay for that as a non-resident.
Right.
And all you suckers are going to pay it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, enough about that. Now, if you order with like DoorDash or Uber Eats, I think you can pay with credit, right, Robin? Because we've ordered takeout before.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you
Yeah,
can.
because there's no way you can put cash,
Right.
unless you want to grease the Uber Eats driver or the other guys who do that. Anyway, let's get it back to the whatever we were talking about, the baseball. So Jeff Passan's going to join us. Buster Olney's going to join us this hour. So we'll talk with Buster about the latest developments. And yes, just when you thought baseball was close again, Harry, now we're back in the neighborhood.
Are they just trying to control the sports headlines for as long as they can?
Why
with
would you
this
want to control the
negotiation?
headlines when it's negative every single day?
I don't know, because some people think negative news, as long as people are talking about your sport, it's positive.
No, that's only in politics is negative news good.
Oh.
Because that's how the world survives, with negative political news.
Because you notice, I mean, the NHL came back and set their plan, and they're in the process of their plan, and nobody's talking about the NHL. Everybody's talking about Major League Baseball.
But I don't think the talk of Major League Baseball is really getting people more excited every day. They're getting more pissed off every day.
Well, okay,
right?
I buy that.
Because yesterday when we had John Sterling on, that story broke that it looked like, because the conversation between Manfred and Tony Clark, they were together,
Right.
They came out of it, everybody was happy, and it looks like they were putting the system in play. And then, of course, the Players Association probably went back to the rank and file, and a lot of guys are like, oh, I don't know. Are you sure that's enough money? Oh, I don't know. Maybe, I like the opt-out thing. Can we opt out even more?
I like 100% of the prorated salaries.
Exactly.
But can we get more games? Because if we get more games, we get more 100% of prorated salary.
Exactly.
And the owners are like, well, that could be 10 more games where I can't get gate receipts, and I got to pay you guys.
Exactly. Now back to the Stu Nod shirt.
Yes.
So we're in Ostogie Joe's. It was a Monday night, and they do what's the dumb game called that all these
Quizzo.
DJs Quizzo.
Yeah.
They were doing Quizzo. I didn't go in there to play Quizzo. I went in there to get a calzone.
Right.
And so we happened to be in there, and the guy who was running the Quizzo knew who I was, and I went over and said hi to him. And we weren't playing because the game was already in progress. But the people sitting in the room didn't know who I was. And so I was trying to help. I picked out a couple that I wanted to help. I didn't go Google, because I'm pretty good at Quizzo.
Right,
That's
right.
why I don't enter. I'm sort of like the card counter in casinos.
Right.
As I
They don't
like
like
to
to
say,
There's
allow
a photo of you at every bar that does Quizzo, and every time like Pat Egan walks in to host it,
Yeah.
they're like, "Is Bruno coming?"
That's right. And they shut it down.
Right.
They throw me out.
Yes,
They physically remove
because
me.
Exactly.
Tony he's like the savant of useless
Of
information.
useless information.
Exactly.
Yes.
They're like, no.
So anyway, one of the teams was called the Stu Nods.
Nice.
And I said, hey, you guys stole that from me. I
You
call
invented the
everybody a
Stu Nods.
Not the Stu Gotts. That's somebody
Right,
else.
right. Or no Stugatz.
Or no Stu Gotts, one
Yeah.
of our listeners. So I said, that's a great name.
Right,
Because
yeah,
all
it's
these, you got
phenomenal.
to have a cool name if you're a Quizzo team, right? The other one was Calamar for the Table. That was another one of the team's names.
Nice.
Is that not a great name? You go into a bar, you get Calamar for the Table if you're Italian. Even if you're not,
Yeah,
you're going to
right,
order
right.
calamari.
Well, sure.
We'd say calamari. I don't know why
You
we
can say whatever
calamari.
you want.
You're
I
damn
know what
right.
it is, and I'll eat it.
You're damn right. And so one of the guys knew who I was, and I said, man, I got to get one of them. Where can I buy one? He gave me the shirt off his back. He was all sweaty and stuff because they won the Stu Nods. And I took a group picture with them.
Wow.
And now I have this shirt. We got to put this one on the, not on the poll,
Right.
but on the site, Robin.
But that reminds me of the great bit that we had years ago, singing with the Stu Nods.
Singing with the Stu Nods.
Yeah. In fact, I think we had an album.
Yes, we
We
did.
had
The
a
greatest
CD.
hits. We'll be re-releasing that digitally enhanced, Harry.
Right. Remastered.
Remastered.
That's what it is.
Exactly
Remastered.
Right. Remastered.
I went into the studio with David Usickinen and Jimmy Page, and we took the old tapes and we remastered it.
Ryan,
Where can I find this CD?
We'll have it. They got to relax now.
Yeah, very rare.
It's
Very
very
rare.
rare. I have to go into the vault.
Yes.
Somewhere in the basement here, there is a safe.
Right.
And I'll crack that. I forgot the combination. So I'll have to go get one of my Antifa friends to come in here with a skateboard and
Yeah.
try to pry that thing open.
I think
You know what I'm
Ahmet Ertegun has a copy of it. Atlantic Records.
That is great
out in
knowledge
California.
right there. That is great knowledge.
Yeah.
You know who else would probably re-release this with us?
Who's
Remember
that?
we were watching the Netflix, the only last time I watched Netflix, the great movie producer, the great record producer that they have a documentary on.
Clive Davis.
Clive
Yeah,
Davis
thank you.
wants that album, and he wants to rework it because he was always looking for new talent.
Right.
And I believe he believes singing with the Stu-Nods is something that will captivate the nation during these trying times for all of us, Harry. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of good stuff today. We'll have a 15-minute date update. We'll have a Employee of the Month update. We'll have a Belmont Stakes update, a Nick Foles update, and we'll rip Dr. Fauci again, and the NBA, and a lot of baseball, and a couple of NFL notes, too. So we got you all covered today. Golf is underway. Harry's going to Hilton Head in his mind. Unfortunately, he's stuck here in a basement in South Philadelphia in the wine cellar, but he has visions of the Hilton Head.
The lighthouse.
The lighthouse.
Yeah.
Dancing, so do I.
I was hitting balls in the rain today, Tony.
You were outside in the rain, Harry?
Yeah.
No, it's not the one I want. No, Paris Hilton wasn't on his mind. Hilton Head.
No.
I agree. We're coming back. Buster Olney will join us. We'll get the very, very latest, fresh out the oven from the man, one of the great baseball guys, Buster Olney. That's coming up next. Stick around.
I am having an issue with the chat room. Anybody that's responding to us on the YouTube video,
You did it now, man.
it's
Riddle's
like
up
going
there.
Yep.
crazy.
No, he just likes to lay down. Just let him chill. He's not going to hurt you.
Yeah, but he's sitting in her seat or his seat.
No, he'll sit wherever.
Select the gear icon and uncheck.
Do you have a dog
He's
or a
trying to
pet?
push him out of there.
Yeah, he probably smells the dog, but he's not going to do anything. He's not going to hurt you.
And
He's
gear,
the
gear
friendliest cat you'll know. Not
Autoplay,
Casper.
no.
Casper's the friendliest ghost you'll know. Riddle's the friendliest cat you'll know.
We're having issues with the chat room in.
Oh, no.
Where? In YouTube? How many chat
No,
rooms can we
so-
follow? I got the Twitch stream up.
Yeah, but the chat room in YouTube is causing like continuous duplicates. Let me see if it's still going on. Yep. Holy crap, what the hell? Oh no, is it back to normal? Okay, anybody that's in
here we go.
YouTube.
Yeah.
So
I got it.
there's more breaking news?
Yeah, we got
Does
it.
Buster
I got
have it?
I got it. No, Bob Nightingale has it.
All right.
Stop! Okay, I have to turn that off. Oh, my God. So anybody that's commenting in YouTube, your comment just keeps getting replayed and replayed and replayed and replayed. So I'm trying to turn off the chat option. Go over to Twitch and only chat in the Twitch room if you can, because right now it is going nutsoid. But I don't see how I can turn it off. Hello? Public. Select. End screen. Where is it? Tags. Thumbnail. Settings. Channel.
Krause just landed in Houston.
Hello. Oh, so he's down there? I thought he was coming here.
Well, apparently it was yesterday he was supposed to come here and he couldn't get in.
That's. I'm always paying attention to this Twitch stream, strappers.
More options. Where is the gear to turn it off?
No McMullen today, no.
Select
Tomorrow.
gear icon and uncheck the enable. Go to edit. Basic info. Advanced settings. That's what I'm trying to do. Basic info. Advanced settings. Allow comments. Well, we want that, but we want disable chat.
So Buster doesn't have anything lately?
No,
Late?
I just checked him. He's not on the line right now, is he?
No.
How to remove live chat display.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Well, if there's a positive development about this baseball mess, Harry, is that it's evolving more than the coronavirus.
Yes.
Right? I mean, Dr.
Yes.
Fauci comes out like every couple of weeks now, comes out of his hole and then proclaims that first baseball can't play and now football might not be able to play. And then baseball writers are glued to the phone, glued to the internet. We told you the earlier story from Jeff Passan at ESPN that the Players Association finalizes a proposal to baseball in the neighborhood of 70 games. Buster Olney, do we have him on the line right now? We're going to call him right now. But who else is making a report right now, Harry?
Bob Nightingale tweeted this just minutes ago,
From
Tony.
USA Today.
Yes, and he says Tony Clark, who runs the Players Association, issues a statement countering Manfred's statement from Wednesday. The two sides are not remotely close to a deal.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Not remote, not even in the neighborhood?
They delivered a counter-proposal based on a 70-game regular season, which among a number of issues includes expanded playoffs for 2020 and 2021.
All right, it's just, I mean, like I said, every 10 minutes there's a new story.
It's a saga.
First, Jeff Passan had the neighborhood of 70 games, and now we're hearing that they're not close again. A man who understands this all. And you know why, Harry? Not only is he a great baseball writer, not only is on Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN, but he went to Vanderbilt.
That's right.
And when you talk about great baseball programs, you have to start with the Commodores down there.
No question.
And let's go to Buster Olney from ESPN, who joins us right now. So, Buster, now it looks like we're back at square one. Both sides hate each other again. Just when you thought it was safe to go out there and start getting the pitchers warmed up for 3 weeks, we're still at ground zero here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they go. And just to put this into context, and I'm not factoring in, some of the smaller ancillary things like how much the players would get out of the bonus pool. But when you really look at where the two sides are, the players now, and Tony Clark just put out a statement a couple minutes ago about the 70-game proposal they of course want full pay. The owners offered or discussed anyway a proposal with 60 games at full pay. The difference between where the two sides are is it roughly equivalent to Steven Strasburg's contract. It's a $50 billion industry, and the incrementalism has gotten to the point that they're haggling over the same amount of money that Steven Strasburg gets in his deal. It's insane. The sport is burning, and you just keep on waiting for somebody to grab the hose and put it out.
I agree with you, Buster. I mean, yesterday we thought they were close. They met. They got together. Tony Clark and Manfred met in Arizona. They came out smiling. And then all of a sudden this whole thing blows up again. And, I know people are going to say, oh, they're going to go to watch it. But when do we get to the point of no return? Because days are clicking by, and they say they need 3 weeks to get the guys ready. There's no setup on where they're going to play. Are they going to play in their own buildings? All of the other stuff, the ancillary stuff hasn't been figured out if they can't even get the nuts and bolts down. So when is the drop-dead date in your mind?
Yeah, and your point is absolutely on the mark because the financial issues in this thing are the Mount Everest of this conversation. Right behind it is K2, which are all the health and safety protocols, and that's going to be as challenging. As staffers at the team level have been saying to me for weeks, we could do all this, and the whole thing could be derailed if you have a spat of infections, and you're going to have to train people. You're going to have to get people in place as the second spring training begins. I mean, quite frankly, the clock needed to be started 3 weeks ago, which means that they really need to get a deal done now, like in the next 24 to 48 hours. And at some point, you keep on waiting. And I've asked this question of folks on Major League Baseball side, because let's face it, in the current context, with the owners having the greater access to wealth, with them being the long-term stewards of the game, they're the ones ultimately who, in this moment, have to push it across. And I keep on asking, okay, who's the guy among the owners who's going to shake the other owners by the collar on a Zoom call and say, guys, what are we doing? We need to move this sport forward. We need to get a deal. We can't have this incrementalism. Let's finish this thing. And I was told by a number of people the same answer, which was, I can't identify that guy. That's a serious problem, and we're going to find out here very soon whether or not they do have that large, big picture sensibility.
Nice K2 reference out of Buster
that's
there.
Absolutely phenomenal.
At Buster_ESPN on Twitter. Is it too simple, Buster, because I'm a simple guy, to just say, well, the MLB's at 60 and 100% of the prorated salaries. The Players Union says 70. Let's meet somewhere in the middle at 65 or 66 and get this thing done.
Yeah, there are people that I talked to yesterday who believed that that's where this thing was going to wind up, was somewhere in the mid-60s. And maybe, these two sides, Rob and Tony, with these respective proposals are sort of setting the parameters for that. Yeah, I mean, we've heard in recent weeks that there are owners who are ready to blow this up this season. It's not close to majority. It's just a small handful. I was told and reported 6 in the month of May. You hope that there are people on the owner's side who can essentially shout down some of the hawks who want to go to war over, the addition of 5 or 6 games to the proposal they gave the other day. I mean, again, think about what the small amounts of money that we're talking about measured against the backdrop of what the overall industry is valued, and the damage that they're taking on day after day after day by dragging this thing out. Look, if in fact they reach an agreement, the first question that's got to be shouted to Rob Manfred is, where was this compromise 5 weeks ago? It has made no sense with how this has played out.
No, you're right. Buster Olney of ESPN. Jason Stark nailed it yesterday. He even broke it down. 66 games is perfect. Then you have mathematically, he's much brighter than I am with math, but he figured out how 66 games works perfectly because the numbers are all divided. How you had it broken
with the division
down.
And the interleague and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, 66 is the perfect number. If Jason Stark and baseball writers can figure it out, why can't these guys in charge sit down and say, hey, you know what, that makes sense?
Yeah, well, I really think it's because baseball management in the last 10 to 15 years really has been overcome by this incrementalism. The Astros being the classic example of it. Extreme tanking, where they finished 2013, guys, with one player on the team making over $1 million. Service time manipulation, guys like George Springer, keeping him from reaching free agency by a day. The trading for Roberto Osuna off a 75-game domestic violence suspension because he incrementally improved their bullpen. That sort of mentality has really crept into baseball versus the people who might look at it, I think, big picture and say, how do we grow this game? How do we move it forward? Because as this is played out, it's maddening to look at the whole product and say, they're not building anything. They're not growing anything. They have this incredibly toxic, unproductive relationship with the union leaders, which, by the way, the union leaders have contributed to that with some of the things that they've done over the last 5 years. But the bottom line is it's so destructive for a game that needs to be growing its audience, not turning them off.
Yeah, I saw a breakdown yesterday about the average age of Major League Baseball fans is like 57-year-old men. And you're right, I mean, about the kids. Them kids still play Little League and they still but it's how much is this going to hurt? Because the 57-year-old plus, they're still going to watch baseball. And there are younger people who watch it. But I'm saying about paying money, going to the ballpark, taking the family, and doing all that stuff. Will this hurt, not just this year, but for the future?
Absolutely, I believe there's a chance of it. Because remember, 94, 95, when you had the player strike, when baseball resumed, attendance was down 20%. Television ratings were down for a lot of that year. And think about it, I know the other night we had the McGuire and Sosa documentary, and that certainly had a role in bringing baseball back. But you know what else? Baseball had all those brand-new ballparks, those great retro ballparks, Baltimore, Cleveland, Texas, Detroit, San Francisco. That was a huge lure to bring fans back. Cal Ripken with the streak. The Yankees, got back to being baseball's Darth Vader when they returned to the postseason in '95. There were so many things that were working for the sport to bring people back. And remember, that was at a time of relative national prosperity, not when so many people have lost their jobs, so many people lost their lives, and everything that's happened since George Floyd was killed. It's been mind-boggling how tone-deaf folks on both sides have been to what's going on in this country.
And the bigger problem now is when they do, if they do get a decision, we have to wait for Dr. Fauci to tell them that they can't go back and play like he did with the NFL and all these other sports.
Well, you know, at least if they get an agreement, at least they can say at the end of the day that they tried. You know, but I don't know why they didn't get to this point 5 weeks ago, and to understand, because let's face it, you know, even if they do come back on July 19th, which is the date that Major League Baseball suggested, or July 16th, which is what the Player Association is talking about, think that about all that's already been squandered. The opportunity to own the sporting stage in early July, the opportunity to completely rebrand the sport, you know, to engender the goodwill of fans in the way that it did. And I was covering the Yankees for the New York Times at the time after 9/11. You know, to be the daily distraction. Instead, it's become a daily source of frustration with how these negotiations have played out, especially the owners in the last 5 weeks.
Yeah, they really blew the opportunity now, I guess, to get July, you know, all on their own, or at least they're blowing it. But the idea of putting the DH now in the National League for the next 2 years, I would imagine that goes forward beyond that in the next agreement. Yeah. The 16-team playoffs expanded. That probably, you know, continues too. Do you think those two things are thrown in there as a way to appease the fan, to sort of bring them back, sort of the way home runs brought them back in the late 90s?
No, I think those are more. I mean, yes, on the addition of playoff teams. Yeah, when this the idea was sort of first leaked out in early February, I think that was, you know, Major League Baseball's effort to not only increase revenue but also to especially give more hope to fans of small market teams. You know, teams like the Indians. You know, like the Tampa Bay Rays, and folks at that level were telling me they absolutely love the idea that they have more opportunities to keep up with teams like the Yankees and the Red Sox. I think the DH, and you know, maybe it's going to go down in history that Sean Doolittle of the Nationals had the last at bat for a pitcher in baseball history. That's been a long time coming. It's kind of an extension of what we know is the Buster Posey rule, the home plate collisions, taking it out to protect the assets of catchers. You know, the Chase Utley rule to protect middle infielders from getting injured. You know, teams increasingly, as they look at players as financial assets, have been looking for ways to protect pitchers more, to keep them off the bases, and to keep them from doing things that they're not accustomed to doing, swinging a bat, running the bases.
Right.
And the other thing I saw today, and I don't know how anybody will receive this, that teams will be allowed to sell ads on their jerseys this year when they come back. Now, who does that benefit when there's no fans in the stands? I mean, the games will be on TV.
Right.
So who makes that money with ads on baseball jerseys?
And the funny thing about that is that's been in the works for months.
Yeah.
But it's kind of classic baseball that we don't have an agreement on that potentially until this moment, right?
Jeez.
I mean, that thing, yeah, and let's face it, it's just it's an effort to make more revenue. I know there's some old-school baseball fans who are bothered by that. For me, it's kind of a shrug of the shoulder because I feel like it was inevitable with all that we've seen, especially with soccer.
Exactly, and then you see NBA players have little, you know.
Yeah, they got
to. You know, I don't have a problem with that. It's not like they're wearing. It's not like the old days when Ted Turner owned the Braves and he had Andy Messersmith have Channel 17 on the back of his jersey. You remember those days, right, Buster?
Well, what was the movie in the Bad News Bears? What was the name of the team? Where he actually had, it was like...
Chico's Bail Bonds?
Yeah,
yes,
Chico's
exactly.
Bail Bonds. That's great knowledge.
At least
there.
we don't have that.
Yeah, Andy Messersmith was a free agent pickup by the Atlanta Braves.
Yep.
And Ted Turner had him on the mound because you always saw the back of the pitcher, and instead of saying his name, it just said Channel, and his number was 17 because that was the superstation in the beginning.
Awesome.
TBS.
100%. That's exactly what happened.
That's what's good about old school baseball chatter. It's like sitting around on Whale Beach down in Clearwater with the old Phillies writers and all the guys down in Florida. Last thing, Buster. So if they get this done, and hopefully by tomorrow or Saturday or whatever, where will they go back and do spring training?
I think it's going to be different for different teams. What I've heard is that, I mean, and let's face it, again, you know, speaking of K2, they have to work around whatever the local rules are regarding the coronavirus. And if a city is shut down or a state is shut down or locked down because of these spikes in numbers, then they're going to have to move. And so they're going to be, kind of roving bands of ball players according to what's available to them. I heard yesterday from agents there was talk that, some teams will begin to work out at their home ballparks, and then if they have an accessible spring training site, maybe they use that. But you guys have seen the spikes in the numbers in Florida. Maybe you're not going to do that. Maybe you're not going to go to Arizona where the numbers have taken a big jump, and maybe you're just going to try to lock down in your in the local ballparks where they play during the regular season.
We need more hubs. We need more hubs out there. We need more bubbles. More bubbles. Can we get bubbles? We can get things built in a couple days. We need to start building bubbles out there.
Something. As Dr. Fauci said, with the football teams needing to play in a bubble, that's what I do think it's good that they, eventually I think they'll work out something where they'll at least try to play, but then you know what? The bigger challenges might be ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, there he is, Buster Olney. Just as confused as we are, but he has to check on this like every 10 seconds, just like we are. Yep. We're waiting for statements from Manfred. We're waiting for statements from Tony Clark. And all the writers are sitting around saying, and reporters are like, what the hell is going on? So when? I need you to put your baseball tonight hat on. When will this get done? Hunch. Guess.
And I'm just guessing. My feeling is they're close enough now where they're going to be punching and screaming and hitting each other and go across the line the next 48 hours.
So you think it's done by the weekend?
I do. I think they'll work on a framework because they're close enough. And although I would say this, I wrote a column over the weekend about how I feel like that as we watch this play out, it's like watching dumb, smart people. And you just can't underestimate the impact of dumb, smart people.
That's a good one. Can I write that down? I'm going to put that on. I'm going to put that on the wall.
Well, that was the hashtag they're saying that might have saved the whole thing is when and where.
Yes, when and where. When did you know? Who did you know? And when did you know it? Or something like that. I don't know. There's a hashtag out there.
Wow.
Buster, always great to talk to you. Thanks for your time, sir.
Thanks, guys. See you.
There he is, the great Buster Olney.
Wow.
His real first name is not Buster, Harry, as you know.
No, it's not.
Do you know what his full name is? And he's the third. He's got the 3 at the end.
Greenberg used to always call him by his real name, and I forget it. Greenie.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
Yeah, when he'd bring him on.
I'm busting his chops. Come on, Harry.
Well, what is his real name? Do you know?
It's Robert Stanbury Olney, the third, better known as Buster.
And I think isn't he from Vermont?
No, he's from Washington, D.C., if I'm not mistaken. And he went to Vanderbilt. That's what I know. And we're pulling it up.
Grew up in Vermont.
Was he making maple syrup up there? Was he responsible for the Mrs. Butterworth?
Yeah. Lived on a dairy farm.
He lived on a dairy farm.
Randolph Center, Vermont.
And that's how come Greenie used to call him the cow insider.
The cow insider.
Well, yeah, Greenie had to milk a cow one day.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Who hasn't milked a cow, Harry?
Well, I mean, I grew up basically on the farm. So,
So this is not one of the things you've never done.
No.
You've actually milked a cow.
Yes.
Well, Harry's a rural guy.
I'm a rural guy.
He's rural.
Rural.
Down in North Carolina, up there in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Right.
He's up there in Tom Wolfe, where
Did
see
you-
that we're going to be in the green zone or something soon. Did you see that?
No, we're not.
Something
Have you
like
had
that.
to
Yeah,
reach your
July
hand?
3rd. July 3rd.
July 3rd.
Just in time for the 4th of July weekend. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Robin. I wanted to get the green zone in there.
I want to. Inquiring minds want to know: have you had to reach your hand up inside a cow to help a baby calf?
No. What am I, a vet?
What is
I
he,
don't
Dr.
know.
Pole? Dr. Pole does that.
I've had to do that when cows are calving. You help.
No. I refuse.
That's all hands on deck.
No, not my hands.
Now, Harry has seen. No, I don't want to go.
Then you didn't really live on a farm.
Exactly.
Goodness gracious!
All right, enough about that. Wow. So now, yesterday, we had Mrs. Butterworth was safe, and now she's not, Harry.
She's not?
Just
She's been
like
canceled?
that, Mrs. Butterworth has got to go, and the latest is, of course, cream of wheat.
Mm-hmm.
A black chef wearing a black chef hat is now somehow racist.
Which
How
I don't
can a
understand.
black chef be racist?
Isn't that a respectable job? Like, wouldn't it be good to be a chef?
I guess not when it's in a plantation, and that's probably.
But that's
the
not what it
connotation.
says.
I don't
He's on
know.
a box of.
You expect me to know this?
Like Chef Paul Prudhomme and like all of these great chefs who have their faces plastered all over food products.
It's all these companies all want a virtue signal, so they all just
right.
get in line and just they just all do it. I can't explain it.
I would say it's because it's seen as a subservient role. So
A
it's
chef?
Right.
Have
Yeah,
you
that's what I'm
seen-
saying. Working in a plantation,
Have you ever?
you're the
Yeah,
part
you're
of
saying
the
a
staff.
chef like they're working at a 4-star restaurant. The people working
Tony's
at a diner.
dad was a chef.
He
so
wasn't
he was
subservient. That's his
It
job.
talking about
can,
being
can
a
be seen as
servant
that.
in a
yes.
house.
That's there's connotations that come with all this stuff.
Come on. I get some of the things. I don't get a chef being somehow racist to have a black chef on a box of cream of wheat.
Well, here's the thing. Why does anybody care? Why would anybody get up in arms about them wanting to
Because
change
you
it?
have to bow to people or else they come after you.
Well,
Quaker Oats
I'm
is
not
worried.
bowing.
I'm
Quaker
not-
Oats, I couldn't care less if they bow.
I love chefs.
If I like cream of wheat, I'm still going to buy it. If I don't, I'm not going to buy it. I don't care who's
Exactly.
on the cover.
Yeah, except think of all the people that yell at chefs, waiters.
Oh, are you
Yeah.
serious right now?
Producers.
But they're not
How
people
about
that
the
get a lot of
chefs that yell
respect
at
out
people?
there.
How about that
Robin,
British guy?
Miss Robin?
I know.
How about that British guy that yells at everybody?
Oh, yeah, the chef on the show on
What
Fox.
the hell's his name?
I forget.
Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon
Gordon
Ramsay.
Ramsay.
He yells at everybody.
Oh, yeah,
He's like you.
And he gets more jobs. The guy's on like Discovery Channel traveling the world. How the hell? This guy works like more than Eitan Shanderi
The
has
last
more
time
jobs.
I checked,
Hold your tongue.
But, I
the
mean,
last
for
time I checked, the chef is the boss of the kitchen.
Exactly.
That's
He
right.
might have a boss above him, but most people do.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, except
depends
to
what
the-
kitchen.
Also,
He's not a
to the
sous
general
chef.
public, though, for every Gordon Ramsay, there's a million chefs out there that people, I had a friend that worked in the kitchen all his life, and, that's
My
not-
dad was a chef.
But, yeah.
My
so-
dad worked in a kitchen. When I was a
Good.
kid, I'd go in the kitchen and watch him sweating and working his ass off
Yeah.
for people outside. That's his job. He chose that job. Nobody comes and grabs you and says, "You're a chef." That's not how it works.
That's not how any of this works.
That's not how any of this works.
I think actually when
No, she didn't.
when my grandpa was in the Navy, I think that worked. That's how it worked. I think it's just like you get in the kitchen, but yes.
Yeah,
Right.
this isn't.
But
You're not
if-
asked to peel potatoes
You're on
in the
KP.
in the
KP.
KP. Jeez, chefs are celebrities now. Back in the day, nobody knew who the chef was. You go in a restaurant, you order food.
Right.
Now they have to have the kitchens where you can see the chefs cooking.
Yeah.
Now they all have their own reality shows.
And you pay more
right.
when you get to sit at the chef's table.
Exactly.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with being a chef.
Just sit me at the bar.
Damn right.
All right?
Damn
you can
right.
go watch the cook. I'm going to sit at the bar.
I want to be
watch-
close to the
I watch
bartender.
the sous chefs. They
Right.
do all the work. They put everything in the little ramekins,
Right.
and then the chef comes in and bam, oh, we got the onions, bam, bam. And then the
Right.
poor bastard's in the back chopping all the onions.
And trust
and
me,
then the
this-
chef comes in, he just puts it in the pan and starts sauteing.
And he gets all the credit.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
trust me,
know.
the sous chef is not going to be on a box of Wheaties.
No, but they
Damn
work
right
their
he's not.
ass off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play action also pointed out that Steven Seagal was a chef in
That's-
Under Siege.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right.
Yeah, but most chefs don't pull out an Uzi and start shooting people. And some of them should probably with the
Well,
way the
now-
customers are.
with
Yeah,
now.
with the way the customers are. Customers are a pain in the ass. I love chefs. My dad was a chef in the military and when he came back after the war.
Except Chef Boyardee.
No, I hate him.
Yeah, right.
He's a fake anyway. I told you what I thought about that. Just like tuna fish. You can take all the cans of Chef Boyardee and all the cans of tuna fish and throw them in the ocean.
You rather what the Swedish chef is cooking?
I love the Swedish chef.
That was on the Muppets, right?
Yep.
Exactly
Yes.
right. It's good stuff. 215-462-TONY. 215-462-8669. And don't forget the Strapper line. 24/7 Strapper action. 856-818-4045.
Some
Yes,
great McMullen stuff on the Twitch stream. Wow. McMullen eats the chef special.
McMullen fries bacon in the nude. Come on, man. Who does it?
McMullen double dips at parties.
They don't do that because bacon's got splatter. That's why
know
I
you
don't do it.
That's why I put it in the oven. I don't fry it in the pan anymore. I put it in the oven. Bam! Chef Bay. That guy was like the biggest star on the meme, right? The Chef Bay guy smacking the meat and then sprinkling the salt on it.
Yes.
That dude's an international star. We're coming right back. Chef Bay. Salt Bay. Right? Salt Bay, yeah.
Yeah.
Salt Bay is right.
Oh. The McMullen smack is hilarious.
I was thinking of the one episode. There's one episode of The Three Stooges where they're the plumbers and there's the black chef in the kitchen. And then, like, they're downstairs and they're putting all the pipes together, and then the black chef turns on the stove and the water starts coming out, and then everything he turns on. So the Three Stooges are obviously not real plumbers, so they're like putting themselves. It's one of the classic episodes. And then finally, the chef's he starts slipping on the floor, and then the light bulb fills up with water and it splashes. And his great line is, "This house is sure going crazy," because he doesn't know what's going on and he's slipping. And it was great slapstick.
Yeah.
Snow.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Looks like that man's name you're talking about is Dudley Dickerson.
The chef in the
Three Stooges it's on YouTube.
episode. It's one of the greatest YouTube. I mean, I'm sure they're going to pull that now.
Apparently, he had several appearances on the Three Stooges, because there's even a montage of all of his appearances.
But watch that one scene. You want to talk about great slapstick comedy? You remember that one?
Yeah, I do remember that
He puts
one.
rubber boots on and he's trying to walk around in the kitchen because there's like some big mansion where people are. Oh, and then they're watching TV. All these socialites are watching TV in the living room, and it's black and white, and it's a waterfall. It's Niagara Falls is on the TV, and then all of a sudden the TV bursts and all the water comes into the living room, wetting all these stuffed asses, rich people. Great stuff, man.
Which is the Three Stooges is such a male.
No, it's
enjoyment.
not slapstick comedy.
I know.
I would say
I
Three
don't get
Stooges and Rush are two things a lot of women don't understand for whatever
I don't
reason.
get it.
The group Rush?
Yes.
Or Rush Limbaugh? I didn't know which Rush you're talking about.
Rush concerts were like 98% dudes.
Dude.
And I tend to I happen to agree with that for whatever reason. The humor of the Three Stooges just never appealed to me, and I know so many of my friends that do.
Robin, you just don't understand
that
slapstick.
agree with me.
You understand slapdicks, but not slapsticks. You know what I'm saying? There's a big difference
What?
between a slapstick and a slapstick.
Another great Italian chef has died. Who?
Captain Crunch is
What?
next. Lucky Charms.
Okay, whatever. I don't understand that. Rush has the greatest drummer in history.
He's dead.
He's dead. Had. The front end of that Stooges episode was them carrying an ice block up the stairs.
Yes.
Okay.
And they're going into this. Is that the same
I understood
episode?
it's a joke, Robin. I figured that out once I got to the end.
When they were plumbers, they came in and they were supposed to be working on the plumbing, and then they're pulling wires out of pipes and connecting them to water pipes.
And I want to remind people. I reminded people at the beginning, but
what's the reminder now, Robin?
If you're a newbie in the chat room, let us know so that we can say hi to you.
So the chat room isn't working in YouTube?
It is, but I wasn't able to add it to the chat room in the stream so that it's not showing up on the video, because for whatever reason, everything was being quadruplicated over and over and over again.
Why is this thing telling me to subscribe again? I already did subscribe.
To what?
YouTube, to your channel.
I'm not subscribed to the channel.
Are you signed in?
The internet is such a pain in my freaking ass.
No, that's not Lily. That's Riddle. Riddle apparently loves Conlon. Like, totally loves him.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Back in the scene with the Sports Talk radio machine. We've got some breaking news from the NFL, Harry. Did you see that?
NFL?
A key injury, yes.
Oh, yeah, Debo.
Yes,
Samuel.
Debo Samuel of the San Francisco 49ers broke his foot
Oh, no.
Today.
Now, how did that happen? Was it a workout, or was it something?
I have to pull it back up, but I saw that scrolling earlier as I go back and forth between the Twitch stream and the Twitter feed, and it was news that just broke not that long ago about Deebo Samuel, great young receiver for the San Francisco 49ers.
Could miss.
What do they say now as far as missing time?
Pulling up here.
Luckily, I mean, it's still only June.
Right.
And they're getting camps soon. And so do we have breaking news? Let's go to our correspondent, a man who follows football because he plays fantasy, or else he wouldn't care, Brian Rothstein.
Worst fantasy football player ever. So, 49ers wide receiver Deebo Samuel suffered a broken foot on Tuesday during a throwing session with teammates in Nashville, and they didn't discover it was broken until today. They said it's a Jones fracture, and he should be able to be on the field early in the season, so he's not going to miss
12 to
too much
16
time.
weeks, somewhere in there, it says.
That's 3 months.
Yeah, he's going to have the surgery in Green Bay, Wisconsin by Dr. Robert Anderson.
Yep, one of the best.
Yep.
Meanwhile, so that's
Our
your
lines
football
are
news.
meanwhile our lines are open if you'd like to call in.
We have the official archivist of the show on the line right now, Rob.
Nice, but if anybody else would like to call in, the phone number is 215-462-TONY. That's
Yep.
215-462-8669.
Let's go to a man who has archived pretty much every event that's ever occurred in my career, including baby pictures. Let's go to Jim in Cheltenham, Pennsylvania.
How you doing, Tony?
Good. How are you today, man?
Is this baseball thing driving you crazy now?
Yes, everything's driving me crazy. The whole country's gone crazy. This house is sure going crazy.
This is unbelievable. Time is now. There's no more time left on the clock. If they have to make a decision the next 2 days, or that's it.
Exactly. Yeah, and we just had Buster Olney on. I'm sure you heard him, and he says it's got to be done by this. We've been saying this for weeks, though. And what makes this even dumber is the fact that everybody knows that this should have been done 5 weeks ago.
This should have been done in May.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They could have been out there already. The spring training part would have been complete. They could have been playing baseball 4th of July weekend.
Easy. Yeah.
Right? Now we're
You're absolutely
now,
right.
Now we're talking middle to late July.
I don't know what because I'm a big, huge baseball fan. I have the Phillies package, and I was going to go to the games anyway this year, but it's very frustrating.
Now, will you to quench your appetite? You go on Twitch and play Fortnite with
No, I don't
with all
play
the
video
bros?
games.
You got to go on there and play
I'm
with.
a different generation, Tony. I'm the pinball generation.
You might be able to play with Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper and all the dudes, they're playing some serious Fortnite right now.
No.
You got to bond with these younger players, Jim. Come on, we're older guys. If you're not on there with Bryce Harper, who obviously is waiting for a decision, but in the meantime, screw everything. He's got Fortnite to play.
Missinelli's Dryer checks in on Twitter and says Bryce Harper plays Fortnite. Luigi and his friends play Jortnite.
Well, I mean, that's a South Philly thing. That's a Philly thing. He actually asked me if I wash my jorts, do
you press them?
Do I press them with that knife? I said, yeah, I want that pleat in the middle, that seam to be sharp enough so I can take some sucker out. If they approach me down the street, I can whip my leg out and do a leg whip.
And it cuts them.
Yeah, cuts them like a knife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, Tony, a lot of people have been emailing me about the Tom Lasorda clip.
Yes.
And there's two versions of it. There's the live version I think you had on, Tuesday?
Yes, well, actually, somebody sent it to us. It's online. The Mark Willard there, Tommy Lasorda episode when we were together in L.A. on Sporting News Radio.
And there's also the version of the edited version. They edited it down. I think at the end of your show, people were calling up. They wanted to hear the replay. So one of your producers edited it down to 2 minutes.
Oh, so you have the edited version?
It's the edited version of 2 minutes. This
The
is at the end of the show.
Wow.
Reimagined? The last end of the show, you were breaking down the whole interview. You and Mark. It's pretty funny. And then they played the last couple minutes of the show. They edited an edited version of the 2 minutes.
Oh, let's go to the tape. We have every version. See, people were wondering if this tape existed.
All we need now is a club remix.
Exactly
They
right.
were a great band, yeah. Tommy Lasorda and Mark Willard were great friends. This is kind of like when a band goes into a big cocaine addiction, and they drank one, they broke bread, they drank pasta, and ate meatballs together, and then something went terribly, terribly wrong. Tommy Lasorda joins us right now on the StubHub.com guest line. You're definitely the hit so far of these baseball playoffs, Tom. Hey, Tony. Yes, Tom. Is Mark Willard there? I'm right here, and good morning. It's afternoon where we are, Tommy. Actually, Tommy, you're in New York right now. That's right. I got something to discuss with you, Mark. You have a bone to pick with me right now, Tommy? I do. Yeah. Okay. What do you got for me? Well, You made a remark about me falling asleep at the game. Well, at the Cubs game earlier this year, you did, didn't you? Yeah, you made a remark that you could fall asleep while he was talking to me. No, not while I was talking to you. While I watch the game, I fall asleep the same way you do, Tommy. Hey, Mark, first of all, I wasn't sleeping, okay? Secondly, I don't like smart guys like you. Well, Tommy, I wasn't trying to be smart. You were sleeping during the game, were you not? You were being very, very sarcastic, and I don't particularly like it. Well, Tommy, no offense there, Tommy, but no offense, you're wrong. You made a smart remark, very sarcastic remark about me, and I don't particularly like it. Well, Tommy, I have no offense was meant, and I apologize then. You're going to accept his apology, or should I smack him for you, Tom? Hey, Tony, if you could get away from that guy, Willard, you'd be a lot better off. Thank you, Tommy. Love you, too. He's a Giant fan. He's just, It really upset me, I'll tell you that. What are you going to say? It's not personal, though, Tom. We all love you. You know that. He's envious of the Dodgers, and he's got to come out with smart remarks, you know. He thinks that makes him a better person. Nothing personal, man, Tommy. I hope you know that. You're having a good time at somebody's expense. No, Tommy. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go, Tony.
I hate to break it to Tommy, but that's part of sports radio.
That's phenomenal. That's great.
Having
See,
fun
I
at
even
other
said,
people's
remember when
expense.
Mark was on, he said
Yeah.
he can't find the tape? Somebody found the tape, and now Jim, of course, has the edited version.
Well, that reminds you did the show. I think his interview was like at noontime, and you were off at 1 p.m.
Yes.
So then people were calling up, replay the thing. So you did all the commercials, and the last 12 minutes, you and Mark were breaking down the whole interview. It was pretty funny.
Well, that's what we do on the show. I've always been breaking
And then
up.
one of your producers edited down. You couldn't tell that was edited down. They did a great job editing the thing down.
That's why I've always worked with the best people.
And you were doing that show from Philadelphia that week.
Was I here? And Mark was
That
in
was
California?
Eagles. That was Eagles Cowboys week.
Oh, that's right. Mark and I were back in town. That's right.
That was a Thursday, and then the next day you had that big show at Tony Luke's.
Wow. I don't even remember that.
Is that when Larson came in and ate dinner at your mom's?
Yes, my mom made
So
spaghetti
they
and
you were eating
meatballs.
at your mom's house that Wednesday night, and then the next.
Even Raj, our producer Raj, had dinner at my mom's house on this very street.
And after that show, you ate, I think, at Mama's cheesesteaks down the street.
Yeah,
Did you
went
do
down-
a
went
show
down to
from
Belmont
Tony
Ave.
Luke's?
You know,
Yeah, we did a lot of
I've
shows.
said this before, but one day I want to go over and I want to see how in the world Jim from Cheltenham keeps track of all these different clips and tapes, and his organization system
He's got a
must be
room full of
immense.
producers.
I've always had a great memory. I can remember things since I was like 10 years old. When I was 10 years old, I memorized the whole TV guide.
So you should have counted cards,
Things
Jim.
I want to remember, let's put it that way.
When NASA, when Elon Musk wanted to build SpaceX, they called Jim to
Right.
configure all of the technology necessary to bring it up to the International Space Station, Harry.
Yeah.
Come on.
But wait, what I just
Matter of
heard
fact, I
is
gave you a clip of that tape, Tony. Probably you don't remember.
I have it on a DVD.
See, I gave you a CD of that. Like the last 14 minutes of that show is all on a CD.
I got to get in my boxes. I got a lot of boxes in here.
Jim, are you saying that you don't have anything written down? It's all in your head?
It's all well. I have the years, from 5, 6, 7, 8. I have the memory. I on the tape.
You should be president of the United States.
Wow.
Come on,
like
man.
Like that tape, I remember dates. That tape was October 2006.
Wow.
Wow.
I can't believe it's 14 years ago.
You know, the great thing about Jim is he remembers things that I forget. And it's always good to have those kinds of people because Robin doesn't remember what I
No.
did yesterday, and neither do I. But Jim remembers what I did in 2006.
B.
Harry.
Mitch 88 says McMullen can't remember his shirt size.
Oh, come on, Harry. That's just wrong.
And if anybody's eating Chef Boyardee's spaghetti and meatballs, they should be strings up.
Absolutely.
It's the worst. If my
Absolutely.
mother found out about that, she would kill her.
Even those people up there in Seattle at Chop now, formerly Chaz, formerly Guido's, even they won't eat that stuff.
Except your old partner there at 97.
Who would eat that stuff?
John Marks, I ate all day, every day at lunchtime.
He ate Franco-American? No, that was Franco-American, which is even more racist.
That's worse.
Oh, another one, yeah.
Wasn't that a war, the Franco-American War and the Chef Boyardee War? I think
Yeah.
they had a gang war, and then they settled it outside.
Yeah, John would eat gas station food, though.
Not gas station sushi, though.
He might have tried
He
it.
might have tried that one.
Might have tried it.
Tony does like those gas station, the hot dogs.
Jim,
that
one
are
day
on
I'm going
roll.
to sit down, find all the tapes, find a cassette. My ex-wife took my cassette deck away. She took everything away. I got to go find. I have a couple reel-to-reel machines. I got all kinds of reels. I got DVDs. I got some 8-tracks. I got some carts from radio stations. I'm going to have to go and go through all
look at
this
the money Howard Stern's making. 90% of his shows are the replays of his old shows.
I got to start doing that. I got to find a way to make money, Harry.
Do you have the clips of Tony interviewing presidents?
No, I don't have that. Because unfortunately, the ESPN show and the Fox show was not heard on Philadelphia radio.
Exactly. That's an outrage.
That's
why I left
problem,
those places. That's why I had to run out of those places. Hey, Jim, great stuff as per usual.
Okay, take care, guys.
Thank you, sir. There he is, the great Jim from Cheltenham, the official archivist. How great is he, Harry?
Phenomenal.
He remembers things that I forgot about 20 years ago.
I mean, can you imagine he and Jose together?
Oh.
Like, they can just they're both very similar in the fact that they can just remember.
Dates. Who remembers dates?
Specifics.
It's unbelievable, man. That's the kind of greatness that the
amazing.
show retracts. We got much more still ahead. Jeff Passan later on. Maybe there'll be more breaking news when we talk to Jeff from ESPN on baseball. Stick around. It is a thirsty Thursday, baby.
Thursday, June 4th, Dan Patrick Radio will become SiriusXM's home for Australian rules football.
Walks into all stalls. Drive in.
Join Australian media icon Eddie Maguire for Aussie Football Rules America as he brings you the latest celebrity chats, tips, and expert analysis of Australian football. Then,
what was it that I saw? Tony, if Tony wants to make money, he can always give us the Belmont Superfecta and this time play it.
I will release it tomorrow right here on this program.
We did see a horse we were looking at last night. Looks really, really good.
So Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, has announced today that every single resident in the state of California must go back to wearing masks everywhere.
Inside your own home as well?
Everywhere, Rob.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Whatever.
Meanwhile, you look at the streets and there are people living in tents. So what are they going to do with those people in tents who are living in squalor on the streets? What are they going to do?
I like modernist.
Modernist?
Yeah.
The furniture?
That's
Moderna.
One of the horses.
Yeah, I know.
We didn't see modernist yet.
I like this Solo Volante, Harry.
Yeah, Solo Volante looked fantastic.
That horse is unbelievable.
It's the second favorite.
I know it is, but he's spectacular.
It's a closer.
I know he is. I've been watching. So I watched some of the races. I watched him. He ran June 10th at Gulfstream. Did you see that race? Mm-hmm. He looked like he was shot out of a cannon down the backstretch.
He was like 4 horses behind, or maybe even 5. And that last stretch, man, he just turned on the speed, and you could tell his entire body language. He was excited. He was not being pushed at all. It was all him, baby. Hit the effing post. I used to eat the noodles right out of the bag.
Yeah.
Still trying to get that guy on the show that was eating the noodles
The
out of the
ramen?
God, he was hysterical. Yeah. Joe Quills, and Gulfstream is a front-running track most days.
I know it is. A couple of these horses have been running at Belmont, which gives them a little advantage. They're used to the track. I got a lot more homework to do tonight if I can stay awake.
Sports.
Everybody's all over "'Tis the Law."
It's so funny. Normally when you go to what's trending on news and sports and stuff, sports has all sorts of stuff. Now it's just inundated with soccer.
That's the favorite.
I know.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with
Tough to
Harry
make any
Mays
money.
on SiriusXM 211.
It is the show that everybody's turning to now. Unvarnished, unedited, somewhat censored, but unafraid, Harry. Speaking the truth when others cower to the mob. I never cowered to the mob, even the real mob that used to be down here where all the mafia guys hung out.
Whatever happened to those guys?
They all killed each other. They got Killed.
Are they
What
in
happens
Florida too?
No,
The ones
no.
that are living?
They're all dead.
Oh,
they all killed each other.
That's what we
No, the
think.
young strappers, they're the guys who couldn't shoot straight. The end of the mafia here in South Philly, the Cosa Nostra, those were guys who would go into restaurants and couldn't hit a barn. What was the line about? The great line about
couldn't hit a bull in the ass with a bag of rice.
Exactly.
Yes.
And who was it that said? Was that
was Doug Collins.
Doug Collins,
Yeah.
that's right. Was that one with the Bulls or with the Sixers?
No, he was with the Sixers.
A bull in the ass with
he
a
couldn't
bag
hit
of
a
rice.
barn.
No, but it was a bull in the
bull
ass.
in the
is
ass.
what he said.
With a bag
with
of
a bag
rice.
of
With a bag
rice.
of rice.
Is that racist?
What was I? Oh, we think that they're dead, but they might have gone into witness protection or whatever, and they just disappeared,
That's
and
true.
now they're all down in Boca Raton.
They're under other names and they're on the Twitch stream.
Exactly.
Exactly. We
But
don't
no,
know.
the younger guys like the skinny Joey Merlinos
Right.
and these
He's in
punks.
Florida.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
a punk.
Yeah.
He's a punk.
Play Action Reel says you couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with a hand grenade.
Yeah, there's a lot of those
Yeah.
sayings.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not what Doug Collins said.
All right.
No. There's a lot of variations. You can make your
Right.
own up, Harry. That's what's great. You can freestyle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk more baseball, some NFL news. Yes, the big story, Harry. Local sports stations and all over Philadelphia and in Chicago rejoicing at the birth of baby Foles. Nick Foles as a baby boy.
Is that right?
Yes. Did you see that story, Harry?
No, I did not.
Come
I
on,
don't.
man.
I don't keep track of NFL.
You don't have
families.
to keep track of it. It's all over the place.
Oh yeah, I didn't see it. I've been on online for a couple hours this morning.
But that's not the really big story. And congratulations to a baby boy, I forget his name. I didn't write it down. It's a new baby, bouncing baby boy. But the other story is John DeFilippo, the quarterback coach.
Yep.
Remember, he was here in Philly.
Right.
Bounced around a couple of stops. Didn't he go down to Jacksonville?
He was in Minnesota,
Yep.
Jacksonville. Where is
and
he
now?
now?
Now he's back with Nick Foles in Chicago.
Oh, he's in Chicago.
Yes, he is now reunited, and it feels so good. Not reunited on ice, because that's nice.
Duke
John
Nathan. Duke Nathan is the name of the kid.
Nathan, baby boy. Duke Nathan. Not Duke Nukem, which I believe is being played right now by the entire Phillies starting lineup on Twitch.
Duke Nathan Foles.
Beautiful. How big is he, so to speak? Well, we want to know. What's his
9
length?
pounds, exactly, and 21.75 inches long.
What about the girth? That's what I want to know. I mean, he's a young fella, right?
Not the width, Tony.
He's got to
It's not
have.
the
I mean, his
length.
dad is legendary, Harry.
Now, did they do a
supposedly.
gender reveal party or was?
I don't know, Harry. I don't know. I didn't even know the kid's name. How can you forget Duke? Where did you get Duke from? The football?
I don't know.
The NFL ball's called the Duke.
Right, the Duke. Yeah,
Is he a John Wayne fan?
That's Wilson,
Oh, that
right?
could
It's a
be.
Wilson
Yeah,
ball, right?
But it's called the Duke.
Right.
Maybe he is a John Wayne fan.
Maybe.
Could be. Don't
That's
know.
racist. Isn't John Wayne racist? Didn't they cancel him a
I
couple
think
of years
he
ago?
said something way
Yeah.
back in the 40s.
He's only been dead for 25 years, but he's
Yeah.
still racist. Everybody's racist, Harry.
Are they changing the name of the airport? Isn't that
John
the John
Wayne Airport? Probably.
Yeah,
They'll get to
in
that
Orange
next.
County.
After all the statues are down. Luckily, last night I survived another night here in South Philly because luckily the Columbus statue is still
I saw
locked
it.
in a box.
Went by it today.
Did you see it? Did
Yep.
you wave?
Big crate. No.
Meanwhile, there was a guy shot sitting in his car.
Wait.
There was a guy sitting in his car that got shot last night.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, that damn statue must have got out of the box, Harry.
Tony, the only thing that's missing off of that crate is the big in red letters, fragile on the side.
Yes.
You know what I said? We should put
Must
the
be
Tony Bruno,
Italian.
Harry Mays. We should go, you post stuff on walls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
We should get the billboard that Joe Krause made about the show.
Oh, yeah.
The one with Tony Bruno, Harry Mays,
Yeah.
and plaster
Just
it
plaster it
all over
on
the
there.
Columbus statue. Get some free pub out of it.
Sure.
This way, when all the TV stations and all the Antifa punks go out there, they'll see and say, "Oh, that's where Tony Bruno
Well,
is."
we could do that on all the buildings up and down Broad
exactly.
Street.
I get some spray paint.
it
I
would
got
be like-
plenty of spray paint, huh?
It would be like tagging, is what
Yeah,
they
let's
call
tag
it.
it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I'd like to tag. But hey, that's how it works. Not Duke Jupiter. Who's Duke Jupiter? I don't know him.
No idea.
So the lines are open, If you would like to give us a call, 215-462-TONY, 215-462-8669, and that's for on the air. If you don't want to talk on the air, but you would like to leave us a message that we will play on the air, you can call 856-818-4045. That's 856-818-4045 to call into the 24/7 Strapper line.
Strapper. Now, not Daisy Duke, of course, which were great. Although they've been banned now along with the whole Dukes of Hazzard thing, right?
Well, yeah.
Is she safe? Because the car's gone and the rebel flag is gone.
Well, Bubba Watson has the car, and he's going to repaint it. He's going to paint the. I guess that.
Bubba Wallace.
No, Bubba Watson has the car. He bought it.
I thought Bubba Wallace bought the car.
No, Bubba Watson, the golfer. He
Okay.
has it.
I can't get my Bubbas and my Dukes
He's
straight.
going to paint over the flag, which is on the roof.
What's he going to put up there?
I don't know.
Just paint it plain orange.
Maybe plain orange. I don't know.
Well, orange car bad. You know that, Harry. What's the matter with you? Not John Wayne. No, we mentioned John Wayne. He's the Duke. Not the Duke of Fluke. That used to be me when you go down flounder fishing down in Margate, New Jersey.
Now, is the fluke the same as a flounder?
Yes, they're the same.
Okay.
Yes. It's not a fluke when you get a big one, though.
Right. And they
then
just,
it's called a doormat.
Yes.
They just lay on the bottom, man.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
waiting for your.
Sort of like most of our audience. You know, they wait around, the food comes by, and it goes right near the fish, and the fish just opens his mouth and swallows it.
Right.
It's like a guy sitting at home with a beer in his hand on Thursday with a bag of Cheetos. Right. The Cheetos don't come by you.
Now, do you like fishing?
Yes.
We could go out fishing someday all together.
Didn't they do that in the movie, They're Fishing Buddies?
What, grumpy old men?
No, the dudes that go out into the woods and tell their wives they're going out fishing together.
Oh, you mean Brokeback Mountain?
Brokeback Mountain. Didn't they go fishing on Brokeback Mountain?
I didn't see that movie. So is that what they said?
I don't know.
They were going fishing?
Fishing buddies.
I thought they were hunting.
Well, that would have been
They
like
would have been
fly
on-
fishing up in like Wyoming.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I don't care what they
okay.
were doing.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it wouldn't make sense because they're going up into the mountains.
Right.
There's lakes and water in
Yeah, I
mountains,
get it,
Robin.
I get
Hello?
it, I get it.
Mountain spring water.
Fly fishing.
Trout.
Fly fishing,
You get
man.
some good trout, trouser trout. You get all that stuff up there. You know what I'm saying?
Scrapple Joe says odds of Tony, Harry, and Robin going fishing one day 1,000 to 1.
What are you talking about? My son AJ, Robin and I have been out with my son AJ.
I
in the
love
boat.
fishing.
Take me fishing. You know what I'm saying? Not Deliverance. You don't want to go on that kind of a
No.
trip. You don't want. You don't want to get stuck in the
Wasn't that-
backwoods down in Georgia somewhere.
Weren't they rafting or something?
Yeah, they were wild
right?
water rafting.
Yeah.
They had canoes.
Yeah.
And then the one guy sitting up there playing a banjo.
Ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding.
That was one. When I saw that movie in the theaters back in the early
yeah.
like
That was
72,
creepy, man. That
it
was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember as a little kid, my mom didn't want me to watch it. And then I watched it, and I saw that one scene, and I was freaked out.
Oh, yeah.
Ned Beatty.
Oh, Ned Beatty.
Oh, man.
Scream like a pig.
Yep. Never thought that I would. Anyway, enough about that.
Well, that was a big, big deal.
No, John
for-
McMullen does not have a pocket fisherman. He does not own one of those babies.
Do you?
I used to have one of
I
those.
knew it.
They're handy, man.
Is it Ron Popeil that made those?
Ron Popeil had the pocket fisherman. Harry played pocket ball, but that was a
Right.
different game.
Still do.
Anyway, so that's the football news. And John DiFilippo, I was mentioning with Nick Foles in Chicago, he was quoted as saying today, a little bit of swagger here to ourselves. We know each other, but there's a little bit of swagger to ourselves knowing we have the best quarterback room in the National Football League.
Oh, God, I love
they got
that.
the
I
best
love that.
room, Harry.
Yeah, the best room. Unfortunately, the games are played on the field.
In the room. You got to be in the room. I thought only hockey guys had the
Exactly.
room.
That's where the room
Now
matters
they got a
in
quarterback.
hockey.
They got the best quarterback room in the league with Mitch Trubisky,
Trubisky,
Nick Foles, and who's the third guy?
I have no idea.
How do they have the best room if you don't know who the third guy is, Harry?
Well, I don't agree that they got the best room.
That's his opinion, Harry. You can disagree with it. How do you know? Have you
And I
been in
do.
that room?
No, I don't need to. They stink.
They're the Bears, Harry.
Yeah.
Tyler Bray, by the way, is the
Tyler
first string.
Bray.
Tennessee?
I guess.
Yeah,
First time hearing him.
I remember him at
Yeah.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Tyler Bray. Is he a draft pick or has he been around?
He was probably a late round
Not
draft
Mike
pick
Bray.
or a free agent a couple years ago.
Not Rex Grossman. He's not there.
No.
Not Chase Daniel. He's making another big paycheck somewhere else.
Yeah,
right?
wait, is he on a coaching staff or is he
No,
still
he's still
getting
got a
paid
new
as
contract.
quarterback?
He was one of the free agent guys that got signed.
Oh, my God.
Remember, that was a big joke. Chase Daniels has made so much money on all these different teams and has only thrown like 5 passes.
The most of it was here. The deal he got here.
Yeah, he got a huge deal. He got another huge deal.
Wow.
And by the way, Josh Gordon has. Is this the latest story? So he relapsed again?
No, hold on.
No.
I think he's been.
He's
He's
applying
been
for
reapplied.
reinstatement.
But I think he was reinstated today, right? If I'm not mistaken.
No, he wasn't reinstated.
Oh,
No, he
just
applied.
applied.
You have to apply.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chase Daniels with the Lions.
That's right. He went to the Detroit Lions, and how much did he get?
I don't know.
Somebody broke it down.
Chase Daniels' contract right now, it's unbelievable. He signed a 3-year, $13 million contract with the Detroit Lions.
How much guaranteed, does it say?
It doesn't say how much guaranteed, but $13 million.
Wow.
Well, you look at his total numbers and the amount of passes and touchdown passes and everything else in his entire career.
It's unbelievable.
And starts and all that other stuff. He's probably one of the highest paid guys in the National Football League as far as per pass, per touchdown, per start.
If he survives this contract, he will reach $47.36 million.
And he started 5 career games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 5 career starts. And how much? How many millions? 30 what?
It would be $43
million for 5 career NFL starts.
That's
Harry.
good work if you can
You're
get
damn right it is.
I admire that. Carrying a clipboard, making that kind of cash.
I'll do it. Somebody posted this morning that there was a cemetery looking for people to work for $80 an hour to clean it up every night.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody said, "Would you do that?" I said, "Hell yeah, it's a
Yeah.
dead-end job, but, hey.
Hey, whatever.
Makes more than I'm making now. I'm not afraid to go into cemeteries at night. And what do you have to clean up?
I mean, it's not
They're all dead.
Probably old flowers and stuff.
Yeah,
people
that's
leave
easy. I can
flags
do that.
or whatever.
But I would stretch it out. If I'm getting $80 an hour, I want a good 8-hour shift.
Okay.
I'll be there all night.
Well, you'd be like a state worker.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody comes out, say the grave, I see like a hand coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I could chase ghosts because I've done that stuff.
Right.
I do the ghost hunting stuff. I'll bring my EMF meter.
Your heat sensor.
I'll
whatever.
bring in my laser beam so I can see if the beam is broken by perhaps a ghost walking around in a cemetery.
Now, would you have to trim around the headstones?
I do whatever they want. I'll bring the weed whacker out. I'll do it with the scissors.
Well,
I'll
it would
crawl
take
on my
you
knees.
longer if you did it with a scissors.
Yeah, I'm going to do it with a pair of scissors
Yeah.
and trim it nice right around the base. You know what I'm saying? No, not the Rolling Stones' Dead Flowers, Harry. Speaking of great rockers, you see whose birthday it is today?
Paul McCartney.
Guess how old Paul McCartney is, Robin? How old do you think Paul McCartney
He
is
has
on
to
this
be in his
date?
80s, right?
No. Come on, Robin. He was born on this date, June 18th,
I'd say 78.
1942. Exactly 78 years
Wow.
old.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney. His face is only like 40 years
Oh,
old.
my
though,
God. And that hair, too.
No, you think he dyes his hair? You think that's natural?
I think that's a wig, isn't
He
it?
looks great up on stage.
No,
though.
he does. Yeah.
I'm sure when he's when you see him up close, he's a battered performer like most of
From
us.
far away with the right lighting, he looks fantastic.
Right.
That's how I make sure that I am seeing all the
Wait a
time.
minute, I have breaking news from the high-speed Twitch wire right now, Harry. Deliverance was filmed on a place called Lake Burton in Georgia. As I mentioned, it was filmed in
Yeah,
Georgia.
like northwestern Georgia, near
All
Tennessee.
multi-million-dollar homes. Nick Saban, of course, and Fran Tarkenton have places up there. Jennifer Aniston, too.
Wow.
So
let's do a remote.
Let's go down there. Go fishing. Go in the woods.
Wow.
Look for Ned Beatty. Didn't he die, Ned Beatty, not that long ago, I think?
I think so.
I think so.
Burt Reynolds is dead. Who's alive from there, from that movie?
They got spotted bass, largemouth bass, bluegills,
nice,
red
How
ear
about
sunfish,
crappie?
and white bass in Lake Burton.
They got any crappie? They got to have crappie
Probably.
down there. Yeah,
Ned Beatty's still alive.
He's still alive.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's 82. Will be 83 next month.
Oh, good
stuff, man. It's great. That's great Deliverance backstage knowledge right there, Harry. That's not between the hedges down there in Georgia either. Harry. That's a totally different place. By the way, we have a SEC update this hour, too. SEC canceled down there, too, Harry. Who would have thunk it? That's all still ahead. Tony and Harry, right here on SiriusXM 211.
I don't know if you could hear it, but I accidentally just said shit.
You did?
But it was really quiet underneath, so I'm.
In the
But it was really low, so
National
hopefully
Forest.
nobody could hear it. All right.
Yep, and 5 starts in his career, right?
Best job in sports.
Absolutely.
Third string quarterback is the best job.
Yeah, it is.
Tony, when we come back, what do you want? I did
Who's
have
that?
a potty.
Oh, yeah.
When we come back, do you
Yeah,
want
he
to do
loved
any of
to
the
drink.
stories that we have, Tony?
Yeah, let's do the
We got the Slurpee one. We have the social media PI. We have the
Yeah.
Florida story.
Let's do the Florida story.
Okay.
I love the Florida story. Not the Gator story, the other Florida story. Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, no, he's out. He played in the XFL. See, Gardner, McMullen bet secretary at the show. Oh, well, he would have collected.
Yeah.
He would have collected across the board.
Right.
Potty mouth. Robin's being called potty mouth now.
I know. At
Shit
least
happens, Robin.
I caught myself.
I don't have the Florida song loaded in here. It's in my other machine. Shit. You have Down to Florida? No, we don't have that song.
No, not that one. The actual Florida story. I mean, Florida song.
No, not. There's another. We had a Florida
Florida.
update, and it was just Down to Florida.
Florida.
Welcome home to
the
Sunshine State.
I don't have it.
I may have to sing it.
Play Action Reel says, looks like you're going to have to sing it, Tony. Can everybody just sing it?
No.
No. All right. Play Action Reel says, you know I'll be singing Down to Florida. Welcome to Sunshine State.
That's Bacardi. No, Bacardi 2 is the one who came up with the great. Been down there a couple of times. Ex-wife's aunt has a place down there in Lake Burton in Georgia.
Georgia.
Duke Jupiter was a band from my hometown of Rochester, New York. They had a semi-hit in I'll Drink to You back in the day. I don't know that one. Duke Jupiter?
No, I heard the song "Drops of Jupiter." I forget what band.
Well, yeah,
did
that's
that.
what's
Is it Train?
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
Train.
God damn it!
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Tony and Harry keeping up to date on all the stuff. Miss Robin getting ripped on the Twitch stream right now at twitch.tv/Tony Bruno Show. The good thing about it is whenever anybody makes a mistake on the show, we immediately have people who will call us out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's all about, keeping everybody in line here, Harry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Who made the mistake this
Well,
time?
Robin apparently uttered a profanity but did not get on the air because we checked the tape.
Well, I didn't even hear it.
I didn't hear it either,
Right.
so I know it didn't get on the air.
Well, I caught myself. I said it, and then I said I said shoot right afterwards. People heard the shoot, but they didn't hear the other thing.
Now, we're getting requests for Florida updates. I don't have the old Florida song loaded, but our good friend Blind Rage on the Twitch stream, he's the gentleman who sent the bongos the other day.
Oh, yeah?
So I may have to play the Florida song, which is not loaded
On the
in my machine.
bongos?
On the
Oh,
bongos.
man,
yes.
this ought to be great.
I found the song. Do you want it?
You have it? Let me
Oh,
hear
you
it. I'll
have
play
it?
bongos along with it. Let's go to our Florida desk and your correspondent, Miss Robin.
Dave?
Wait a minute, Robin?
Yes, sorry.
Florida, we welcome you to the Sunshine State. They're kicking back and soaking up the rays every day in Florida.
Now here she is down there in Florida. Down there, Hernando County.
Let's go to
My favorite county, Harry, Hernando County.
That's where my mom lives.
Hernando. Well, hopefully she doesn't run into this guy, Harry, because this, I would say that he is a strapper.
Yes, he is.
Well, there's a
Don't
lot
you-
of strappers down there.
I would say that he is definitely a strapper.
Yeah.
And not a good kind, by the
No,
way.
not a good kind of strapper. This is a gentleman. If you're on the Twitch stream, you can see his mugshot. But for those of you elsewhere, is a young gentleman that has a machete tattooed right underneath his eye.
Now, when you look at the picture, he looks like a football player with like eye black under one eye and then nothing under the other. He looks like a quarterback, right? He looks like a guy who could play in the NFL.
Right.
But the actual mark underneath his eye, which would be his left eye, is a machete tattooed on there. Not the teardrops, not the other stuff. It's a machete.
It is a definite machete in big black, bold ink.
Not our good friend Machete.
And
Danny Trejo, who's
now,
phenomenal.
Since it is a mugshot, you already know that something went terribly, terribly wrong. And you might be totally surprised to find out that he is a suspect that is now behind bars following a machete attack.
Oh, that's you want to talk about.
Wow.
Staying within your game. He stayed in his lane, Harry. He has a machete tattoo on his eye, and he busts out a machete and whips some boy with his machete.
Now, was he watching Elmer Fudd on HBO?
Probably, because that's acceptable. He didn't have a gun. He had a machete.
Well, I thought those were scythes that they were
Well,
still.
I mean,
so whatever,
yeah,
but
I mean,
it's close enough. You're right.
It's a
So
sharp
he is
object.
behind bars now for a machete attack that left a man unable to use his left hand.
Wow.
He cut it off. They cut that thing clean off.
I don't know. But anyway, Justin Couch, 25
Couch.
years old,
Not Tim Couch.
No.
attacked a man multiple times.
I think he actually had more successful hits and completions than Tim Couch. This
Wow.
Justin Couch.
Whoa.
But I think that this is a lesson. You should not pre-advertise your weapon of choice on your face.
So what did he do? So he whipped it. How did this start? I need to know details, Robin.
Here are the details of said disagreement. According to detectives, Couch told the victim, who is not named, that he needed to leave the residence that they were in, and once the victim agreed, but said he just wanted to grab his wallet and cell phone, Couch said, no, 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 and he struck the victim with the flat side of a machete blade.
He went to the flat side.
Then Couch then swung the machete at the man's face and sliced his forearm, causing him to pass out.
Wow. And then the guy's...
So the guy was arrested, and he's charged with aggravated battery, and he's currently being held on $10,000 bond.
Wow.
currently unable to use or move his left hand.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go with the right hand. Yeah, it's got to be amphibious, as one great athlete once said about himself. I don't remember who that was.
That's crazy. That's some crazy stuff, man.
That's pretty good. You know
Great
what?
area down there.
Yeah, Hernando County.
I wonder if my mom's are aware of that story.
It's probably front page in the Hernando County Gazette.
I don't
or whatever
think she
the paper
gets
is
the
there.
newspaper.
Well, who does anymore?
Well, ask her if she knows or lives near Terrione Drive.
Well, what hospital?
I
You
can
went
look
to
that up.
Bayfront Health Spring Hill.
In Spring Hill, that's where
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's Hernando. You know, Bubba the Love Sponge
Yeah.
would always do a segment called Hernando County Cops.
Is that right?
Because that's where a lot of stuff goes down.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Humboldt County out in California. You know, a lot of dope, a lot of weed.
Meth labs,
Yeah,
the whole,
all that
the
kind
whole
of
deal.
Stuff. But they're still good people, Harry. Just because they like to cook. And they're not chefs that are being taken off boxes, Harry. Those chefs cook.
What's the name of the street?
Terrione.
Terrione?
One word?
Terrione. Yes.
Terrione?
It's,
Not
unless
Chris
they-
Terrione. No,
unless-
that's a different guy.
Unless it's spelled incorrectly, it says it's Terrione.
Two words or one, Robin?
All one word, Terry, Terrrrryown. It could be Terrytown, though.
Yeah, I think it is Tarrytown. Isn't that up in Long Island on one of the stops on the LIE when you're going up there to Tarrytown?
I don't know.
See how I can bring it all over the country?
I think you're
whether
right.
it's Florida, whether it's California, whether it's Indianapolis. This is a show that's about the entire country, maybe the entire world. We got listeners in Singapore. Our
Yes,
buddy
we do.
in Singapore listens. And it's how many hours difference? It's 12 hours.
It's 12 hours difference.
So we
there.
already know what's happening
tomorrow
on Friday afternoon in Singapore.
Right,
Harry.
didn't he
No,
hit
it's
us
not
up on
afternoon
Twitter?
yet.
I saw a
Yes,
tweet the
yesterday.
other night.
Yeah, he listens all the time. So
Tony, if it's 12 hours ahead, that means it's 4:30 in the morning right
exactly. It's already tomorrow morning.
Yeah, but you
that
said
would
afternoon.
be Friday morning. I'm sorry.
Tomorrow
It's
morning.
Friday afternoon.
Morning.
Morning. real early. About the time I got up this morning. Jesus.
And you still haven't gotten your test results yet.
No, I have to call my doctor.
I mean, you need to get these results
I need to
before
know
the weekend.
if I'm a carrier.
Exactly.
Should we call them on the air?
Yeah, that would be great, actually.
Where's my damn results? I'm dying over here. I need to go out. We got to get. We have a Governor or Tom Wolf update today too, Harry, and it's a good story for Governor Wolf.
Well, is this something about reopening more counties?
Part of that.
Because I told you yesterday about there's going to be some reopening tomorrow, I believe.
Yes, but now the city of Philadelphia area will not be opening until July 3rd for the 4th of July weekend, unless somebody goes out and gets the COVID, and then they'll shut the city down for the rest of the summer.
That could be a moving target. They just move the goalposts,
exactly,
as they like to say.
Yeah, Jim from Cheltenham already has my COVID test results, but the doctor doesn't. He got them before the doctor. He knows the lab. He called the lab himself. He called Balco or LabCorp, one of those. I think they're probably at Balco. Anyway, let's get it back to so the Florida update is over. Don't tattoo like stuff on your face because let's be honest. Most people who have face and neck tattoos, you talk about a red light for police or anything else.
Well,
if you're walking around with tats on your face.
Who are the two most famous ones? Mike Tyson and Post Malone, I would say.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, then the basketball player down there played many years. The white dude who had the tats all the way up to his
Well,
neck.
he had them like kind of all over.
But no, he had
he
them
didn't
coming
really
right
have
up
them in
on-
his face, though.
No, he had them all under his neck, right up to the
The
chin
Birdman.
line. The Birdman.
Anderson, I think.
That's
was
right.
His last
That's
name.
tremendous NBA knowledge. Ryan Rothstein, who's an NBA honk, didn't know that.
Yeah, he knew it.
What's his first name?
Chris.
Chris
yeah.
Anderson is correct. That's the correct answer. Beautiful, man. Let's get it back to the Eagles. Well, we weren't on the Eagles. Not former 76er announcer Neil Funk. Where do we get the funk on that?
There's no relevance.
I don't know. Meanwhile, we have breaking bowls. Yeah, and I know you're a big fan of college football bowl games.
Well, of course.
You've been to many bowl games.
It's something to wager on around the holidays.
If there is a holiday season this year.
Oh, is that being canceled
Well, I
too?
think so. We got to wait for Dr. Fauci.
My God.
He's already weighed in on the NBA. He said the NBA was okay because they've got a 113-page thing, and he likes all that statistical stuff.
Well,
Dr.
and they're
Fauci.
in a bubble.
And they're in a bubble.
Yeah.
Now he chimed in on football today. He says, I don't know about football. Plus, I don't really like football.
Unless they play in a bubble.
Unless they play in a bubble.
Yeah.
And once baseball gets it figured out, his head's going to explode, Dr. Fauci.
I know.
He's going to explode, Harry.
I think he's just here right now to just kill all of our sports joy.
Yes, he is. And listen, I respect the guy. He's a doctor. But you know what he is? He's been in the government for like 30 years.
Oh, I know. He served, I don't know how many presidents.
He was serving Woodrow Wilson, I think.
I think he was it goes as far back as Reagan.
Yeah, and again, he's a great doctor, but he works for National Institute of Health. So he works for the government. And anybody who works for the government that long, I think he's good at what he does. But he's also been incorrect a lot, Harry.
Right.
And
Especially
so now
with
that he
this.
comes out, and he comes out every couple of weeks like the groundhog, and then he comes out, and then he says, I don't know about this. He did jump the shark. There's no doubt about it, Harry. I'm not listening to Dr. Fauci anymore. Sorry, Doc. I used to listen to scientists, but not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, they always say, listen to the science, listen to the experts, but the experts have been wrong more than they've been right. And now, when I hear Dr. Fauci say something, and I heard the cut, he sounds like the teacher in the Peanuts cartoon.
No, I can understand. He's Italian, Harry. I can't.
I'm not making fun of it. It's
just.
just like you don't really hear what he's saying anymore, is my point.
I think the whole country went to head once Dr. Birx didn't come out with a new scarf every day. You notice she had a scarf on every day.
I know.
And then she lost the scarves.
It's an accessory,
and that's why the COVID's coming back, Harry, and it's coming back stronger and better than ever. Bigger and better than ever.
But you got this bowl update.
Yeah. I heard you're a big bowl. Do we have college football music in here? I think I do.
By the way, rave reviews for Tim Brando yesterday.
Absolutely.
And his impressions were just spot on.
He should be doing a Broadway show, or at least a show in a local club in
He should warm up with Caliendo for Caliendo. Is what he ought to do.
Now, college football's using this now. No, they're using the CBS theme, I think. on college football. Isn't Fox using the NFL on Fox Music for college football?
I have no idea. I can't keep track.
I can't either. Ladies and gentlemen, the bowl formerly known as the Belk Bowl.
Now, Belk was a big department store.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, it's a department store in the southeast.
That's good Belk knowledge right there. Are they out of business? Did they get looted? How many stores are still standing after the looting and rioting?
That's a good question. I don't have the answer.
I just asked questions, Harry. So Belk is out in Charlotte, North Carolina. They had it for a couple of years, though. They weren't a one and done.
No. They've been around for a while.
The bowls that Temple goes to, they're one and done. Like the Marmot Bowl was one and done, I believe. Right?
Wasn't it the Meineke Car Care Bowl at one point
exactly.
in time?
The Belk Bowl?
Yes.
It was the Meineke
How
Car
about
Care
that?
Bowl.
That's great knowledge, right? That's why I know it.
That
Anybody
goes
who would
deep.
know fringe bowls, it would be Harry. Only because Temple University plays in fringe bowls.
Well,
every
they play
year.
in fringe bowls. They haven't played in that one. But, I mean, I've bet all the Meineke Car Care Bowls.
Absolutely. Did you get a free oil change after you buy a ticket? What did you do? Did you get lubed? At least you got to get a bottle of lube or
You
something,
should.
some personal lube to
Some
take home.
10W40 or something.
You got to have that viscosity, Harry.
That's right.
It's all about that viscosity, bro. No, the Astro Blue Bonnet Bowl has been gone for a long, long time.
Well, yeah.
The Astrodome's still there, but
It's
the bowl's
still there.
gone.
Yeah.
Is that Blue Bonnet margarine? What was the Blue
I
Bonnet
think it
problem
was,
back
yes.
then? So now, guess what the Belk Bowl is? And Robin and you will be happy about this one, Harry. I think you and Robin should do a road trip and go down there and cover it.
Depending on what it is, maybe it could be a sponsor for us.
Wait, ladies, I have breaking news. I hate to interrupt this bowl update.
Uh-oh.
Miss Robin just got the results. They've just been handed to me on a green slip of paper.
For your antibodies.
Yes, I have it all. Blood sugar, renal gland, normal. What is this one right here, Robin? What's elevated? Cholesterol?
Yeah, your cholesterol's elevated.
Which
It's
one,
elevated.
though? The LDL or the HDL?
I don't know. The LDL, I'm not in that church. I'm sorry,
Okay.
so I don't know about that. And then the PSA.
Okay.
Not the public service announcement. That's the blood test that determines whether your prostate is elevated or enlonged or 5.7, Harry.
Now, what does that mean
That's
on a scale
high.
of what?
It's on the higher end, and he needs to follow up with his urologist. But it hasn't changed that much since last time, so that's a good. It's still
But
elevated.
the big story on Action News is not a 3-alarm dumpster fire in North Philadelphia. Jim Gardner will have that for you coming up later on Action News at 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11. This is what we've all been waiting for, Harry.
What?
The
You
COVID.
are the father.
I am not the father, and I am negative. I am COVID negative, baby. Does that mean I have the antibodies?
No.
Because I did the antibody
No.
test.
You did the antibody.
So I never had
That
it.
means you haven't had
I've
it.
never had it, and I'll never get it.
Well,
You've
that's
never
not true.
had it.
Unless Chris Cuomo puts me, Governor Andrew Cuomo or New Jersey Governor Murphy puts me in a nursing home. Then I'm guaranteed to get it.
So the fact that you are negative to the antibody test means that you have never had it, you've never been in contact with it because your body has never tried to fight it.
Have not been exposed to it.
And I've been exposed to a lot of suckers.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And I've been sucker-free a long, long time, Harry.
Wow.
I'm actually kind of disappointed.
I'm disappointed, too.
You wanted me to be positive?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted you to have had it and gotten over it.
And then we wouldn't have had to
then
worry about it anymore.
Exactly.
I like being negative. Harry's usually the
People
negative
say
one on the
I'm
show. But I thought the antibody test tells you whether you've had it or not.
Correct.
And I haven't had it.
No.
And I never. And all these people yelling at me, you should be wearing masks everywhere when you're driving in your
It doesn't
car.
mean you
and
can't.
I do wear masks.
It doesn't mean you can't get it.
I'm impervious. I'm as Mike Tyson,
Mike Tyson
once said. My skills are impervious. My game is impeccable.
Impetuous.
Impetuous. I want to eat his children. As long as they're not COVID positive.
Do we
What did
have
he say?
that?
Something about butterflies or bees or
No,
something?
no, that was like Muhammad Ali, Robin.
Yeah, oh my God, we
You
got to give her one of those.
Oh yeah,
now.
absolutely.
It was just another one of the rants. The boxing rants. Oh, I deserve a major
Here's
bump
Mike
bump,
Tyson.
bump.
Here's what he said.
Yeah.
There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
Praise be to Allah.
Wow, that is a great line right
That's
there.
what I am when it comes to the COVID, Harry.
Impetuous.
COVID ain't touching this sucker right here. I got some more. Let's have a shot of tequila antiseptic right now. Moisturizing agave. How about agave tequila shots for everybody, Harry?
Okay.
80% ethyl alcohol.
I'm down with that. But I can't believe that you're happy about this. Like if I would have taken it, I would have been like kind of bummed out. I'd been like, man, I wanted to have had it.
I thought I had it. Everybody thought they had it.
No.
Right? I guarantee you, every single person from March on, whenever they got like a little sore throat or felt they had a fever,
little fever.
Like, oh, my God, I must have gotten it. Mm-hmm. Robin and I were in New York when the mayor up there was telling people to go out to Chinatown, go out to dinner. We were in New York City for that week when the COVID was exploding, and I didn't get it.
Wow.
I was eating ramen in a restaurant. I seriously was, not dry. I was actually in a great restaurant with Luigi.
Mm-hmm.
We're eating bowls of ramen and stuff. Good stuff. Right there in Midtown Manhattan, Harry. I am impregnable. Well, I'm a man. Although I'm hearing now that men can get pregnant, so I don't know anymore, Harry.
Is that right?
I felt like I was pregnant earlier before I went on the keto, though. I looked like I was about 6 months in, Harry. But I've lost the stomach now, so I think I'm good. Meanwhile, I sneezed. I got the COVID. How many of you listening or anybody in this room at one point when the COVID stuff was going crazy and now it's apparently coming back, thought at one point, my throat hurts.
Well,
I'm coughing a little bit.
It wasn't when it came out in February, March, but once it did come out, I remember back in December having like 2 nights with a fever and waking up and sweating and all that kind of stuff, and I'm thinking maybe that was it.
Remember,
I kind of hoped that was
we all went to Miami for the Super Bowl. We were there for 10 days.
Yeah, I was only there for 3 or 4, but
and then we came back, and then we went to New York for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And so you talk about being around a lot of people.
Right.
And a lot of people from New York went to Miami. A lot of people from Miami went to New York. People were in New York. Nobody had any clue.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember when we were at the Super Bowl and we heard you speaking about chefs. Who did we talk to at the Super Bowl who we have on every single year from Minnesota?
Yeah, Chef Andrew Zimmer.
Andrew Zimmer.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about
I was there when he was there.
Yeah, because that was the first sign that the coronavirus was coming from a wet market in Wuhan, China, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And then it was like, wow, this was the first notice of it. And this was right before February, right before the Super Bowl. So it was the last week of January going into the Super Bowl weekend.
Right.
And so people were aware of it, but we didn't know it was in the country yet. So people were worrying about it spreading from China and all that other stuff. So how many days were you down there in Miami here?
4.
It's a good job out of you.
Then I went to Myrtle Beach for 4 days, and then Tampa for about 6 days.
And then you took the rest of the damn year off.
Right.
It's a good job out of you, Harry. That's what you should always do when you leave a job.
Yeah.
Just get the hell out of Dodge for a couple of months,
I highly recommend it.
I just started a new job. I can't get the hell out of Dodge now. We have a Damn It Robin shirt now, right? We have a Damn It Robin shirt now at the Tony Bruno store, Harry.
Which I'm sure everybody's going to want after this.
Absolutely.
I should have.
How about a great gift for Father's Day?
Yeah.
Order a Damn It Robin shirt. So then when your dad gets you pissed off this weekend or you're going to go see your dad for Father's Day and then something goes wrong, you have somebody in your family that you want to yell out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you yell out, Harry?
I am pissed off.
No. Damn it, Robin. Damn it, Robin. I think I got a fever now. Let me check my temperature. Just because I wasn't COVID positive when I had the blood done a week ago, Harry, doesn't mean I didn't get it.
Did Ryan Rothstein check his temperature?
I'm at 98 degrees.
He typically runs hot.
Get Nick Lachey on the phone. I'm at 98 degrees right now.
And for those of you wondering what they look like, this is the Damn It Robin t-shirt that is available on the TonyBrunoShow.com/shop.
And it's in all black with white lettering. And interlocking NY on there. Oh, no, that's the Yankees.
And the cool thing is that on the back, it also has Damn It Robin in mirror image. So it's
I like that.
Yeah. So no matter how you look at it, it's Damn It Robin.
There you have it. We're coming back. Open phones, 215-462-TONY, 215-462-8669. The thrilling conclusion of the Belk Bowl. And what will it be called when it's played in the middle of the holiday season when there's nothing to bet on? Stick around with that. Harry played 18 holes in the COVID Open. I know the number's high, Dean. That's why that's why last year my urologist wanted me to have a prostate biopsy again.
What, the 5.7 or whatever it is?
5.7 is
and so
high.
it was all scheduled last fall.
Yeah.
And then I had the problem with my...
Now we got phones.
With my, what do you call it?
Fissures.
I had fissures, and then I had to have
And then the
surgery.
COVID.
I had surgery 3 different times, so I couldn't go in and have the prostate biopsy because that's how they go in. And so I had to wait till the year ended. So now I can go back and make an appointment.
Twitch is working just fine.
No, not Tony Delk. It's Belk.
S Falcon, I think it's your issue. Your Twitch is showing that it's just fine. When are the Tony Bruno Show decals coming? I believe that there are some decals on there. Have you checked out the shop? In the shop, there's the Breaking Bruno decal that is available, and there's the First Responder decal. But we should have some more of those. You know what we should make is because decals are a little bit easier with all the different colors. We should have the cartoon faces of you guys as a decal. The show. Oh, did you?
There's no intern promo code to put in.
Yeah, we should. We should have like a employee discount. But I have several new designs that need to go up there ASAP. So John from I know everybody keeps asking me if I got my hair did. No, I didn't get my hair did. Or as they say around here, which is so weird. I just didn't put it up today. Usually I'm lazy and put it up. Today I was lazy and left it down. Miss Robin, is there a meanwhile Tony Bruno shirt?
Yeah,
If
we
not,
should have a meanwhile ...
Yeah.
Did you see what I wrote to El Hombre today?
No.
I
Meanwhile.
wrote not enough ...
Oh.
No, this stuff is funny.
We need to have him on again.
We'll do them next week.
I don't even wash my hair every day now. That's
Me
long.
neither.
Well, it's actually not good for your hair to wash it every day. Did you know that? Most people think that they need to wash their hair every day, and it's
Yeah.
not good for you.
I got to wash that gray out of my hair, right out of my hair.
When I finally found out that I was allergic to sulfates and SLS, which is the something, what is that? Something sulfate, and bought product that doesn't have it in there, my hair feels so much better. My head doesn't get all itchy. I thought I had dandruff all the time, and I didn't. It was just because I was allergic to the SLS in shampoos.
SLS.
Not the Symbionese Liberation Army. That's the SLA with Patty Hearst.
Patty Hearst, yeah.
Well, thank you, J Blank 2481.
She has beautiful hair.
Wow.
And of course,
and it's my own.
It's not that
It's
busy,
my
man.
own.
It's not that busy.
And to think that I just recently had like 10 inches, 12 inches cut off. Yeah, my hair was so long. Just before we had the lockdown, thank God I was able to go get it cut. It was so long that when I was taking a shower, it would get caught. Well, we won't. Never mind. Never mind. People don't need to know that.
Richmond. Pete in Richmond and Phil in the Northeast.
Big Dipper HD. Most people don't know the bathroom trash is for tissue and small things only. I know. I know. Go figure. Who knew? We all thought that trash.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
yes, indeed. It is a thirsty Thursday, Harry. Let's pour one out for the COVID, as I am COVID-free. And we're going COVID-free at sweeping through the top of the hour, Harry, and commercial-free. But let's go to the phone, shall we?
Now, did you notice that Ryan's penmanship has gotten much better
That's
in the
what
last
happens.
couple days?
We had to pull out the whip and then whip him into shape here. You know what I'm saying? It's a process. A process that you can trust, unlike the Sixers, as I've been saying for many, many years.
I was just going to say, I'm like Ben Simmons. I respond to accountability.
No, you actually got it right in 2 days of being ripped. He's how many years now? 2 years? 3 years?
But he's like Ben Simmons. He has to be shamed into shooting
Exactly
a jump
right.
shot.
Exactly.
Like,
You have to
Negative
boo me.
reinforcement. That's what you're supposed
No, it's called tough love, Robin.
Exactly.
It's also called negative
No, it's not.
reinforcement.
Tough love is not negative reinforcement.
He's also got the throwback Eagles hat
I know
on.
he
You
does.
see that from the Buddy Ryan days?
Exactly right.
Man, keep coming with the compliments.
Dig that.
guys.
No, that's good.
Yeah, I
Listen,
appreciate it.
even though I'm negative COVID-wise, I'm
Right.
positive most
Well, I
of the
figured
other
the
time.
Twitch stream is going to rip him in 10 seconds, like 3,
Oh, yeah.
2, 1. So you give him a couple of compliments. Balance it out.
We're going to do a COVID-free Friday tomorrow.
Is that
Thank
right?
you for that one. Yeah. That's Daryl in San Antonio
A
checking in.
COVID-free Fauci Friday?
Yes.
Fauci-free,
Let's
too.
trademark that.
Yeah.
Put that on a T-shirt and put it up on the pole, Guillermo. Wow. Meanwhile, let's go to the phones. Let's go to Phil in the Northeast. It's no longer the great Northeast. I remember when it was great, Harry, but
Yeah.
no longer. Phil, what's
No,
going on, man?
Not much from the far Northeast.
Is
But
that
anyway,
great? Can you make the Northeast great again?
there's no restaurants or anything. Ain't nothing to go.
You know how you make it great again? You move it into Bucks County.
You keep going north on
Right.
one until you hit like the rich areas up there. You know what I'm saying? Once you get up to Yardley, I think
then
you're okay.
good.
Yeah.
Then you're good.
Well, Yardling ain't bad if you're going to the one place up there, the tomato pie place. If you know what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
yeah, I know all the places up there, man. They don't allow me up there. Every once in a while, I venture into Yardley and go up there in the Newtown Square. Newtown, Bucks County.
yeah.
Newtown Square is in
Make sure
Delco.
you put your big polo on, okay?
Exactly right. What's going on
So
up there,
listen.
man?
So listen, I'm driving home. I just want to say thank God you guys are back on. It makes a big deal for me driving home. I got something interesting to listen to.
Thank you.
You know?
Thank you.
You guys were the best when you're on. Listen, what's going on with baseball? Are these clowns going to get their act together?
Well, we had Buster Olney on earlier, and he said that now they're still messing around again. Yesterday it looked good. We're going to have Jeff Passan on in the next hour, and we'll get it's changing every hour.
But Buster said he thinks something's going to get done in the next 48 hours.
Yeah, he says it has to be done by the weekend. Now, we've been saying this for weeks,
Right.
but yesterday it looked good, Phil. It looked like, Tony Clark got together with Rob Manfred. They met together in Phoenix. They came out of the room. They looked like they were close, and they were talking 60 to maybe 66 games. And then earlier today, Jeff Passan said they got something maybe in the neighborhood of 70 games. That was from the Players Association proposal to the owners. And then that fell apart. And so now we're waiting again, and we'll see what happens. So, man, they issued another statement earlier saying that they're not even close. So who the hell knows what to believe anymore? At least they're issuing statements to tell us that they still have no clue what the hell they're doing.
Well, the thing is, what I don't understand is every major sport has been playing this game. There's also, I read today, there's some people in the NBA that are not going to be playing. They don't want to play right now. Whoever goes back first is going to get all the attention they ever wanted. And baseball, considering their ratings and everything else has been declining, you would think they would have their act together and they get start off first. Now, MLS is going to start before that.
Yep, they'll be the first actual sport in this country that will be playing games. They're down in Florida. It's a tournament. It's like a World Cup tournament, but at least they're going to do it. Hockey will be back soon. The NBA will be back
In
hopefully
August.
soon.
Yeah.
And, we got the Belmont this weekend. We got golf. So things are coming back. But it's amazing that in this country, the greatest country on earth, we've got rugby players playing in New Zealand, which you can't get any more close contact than that. But baseball players are worried about standing close to one another, which they don't do anyway.
No, maybe they're afraid of spitting on each other with sunflower seeds.
Well, I mean, you can't control that. I was talking with Barry Melrose last week about snot rockets.
Yeah.
That's going to be hard for hockey players after
They
they do a
spit,
shift.
too.
They get that snot rocket on the ice, but at least it freezes up quickly. And I don't think the COVID can live on snot.
In frozen
ice.
snot?
Frozen
Oh.
snot. I don't think the
I
shot.
don't think
Get
so.
Dr.
Trip over
Fauci on the line. I want to know if snot rockets, if they're frozen on ice, if they're still loaded with COVID.
Frozen snot is COVID
I'll tell
averse,
you what,
Tony.
when I go to work tomorrow, I'll ask one of the doctors at work and see if he can tell me that answer.
That's the kind of answers we get here.
Good.
This show's a science-based show.
And get back to us with the results, please.
All right, Phil, be careful out there in the far Northeast.
Okay, take it easy, guys. Thanks.
Beautiful, man. Thank you so much. What do you think, Harry? Near the Lincoln Drive-In. That's far northeast there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way up there.
Yep.
Is that still open?
I'm not
You know,
sure,
it's
but
'cause drive-ins
drive-ins are coming back.
Yeah, they're coming back everywhere.
Right. We should invest in one.
I agree. I can build one in the backyard. I got a lot of plywood.
That's
We'll
true.
put it up there. I mean, I'll take some of the plywood off some of the stores that may be reopening.
Right.
We could build one. Just get some 2x4s. Mm-hmm. What size do you think is a reasonable size for a drive-in theater screen to do this?
Really? I have no
Robin,
idea.
can you look that up for me, please?
Drive-in.
What is the traditional size of a drive-in theater screen?
We're going to be like the 222 drive-in in Berks County.
Yeah. Just enough so we can project that baby
The
up
Lincoln
there.
Drive-In is on Roosevelt Boulevard.
Yes, I know.
Right,
I
yeah,
told
yeah.
you where it is. That's where they showed
Yeah.
the porno movies, and people would park into the parking lot and see them without having to drive into the movie.
Same with the 222
Exactly.
drive-in.
It was
They
closed.
did a bad job of angling up there. bad engineering, Harry. But good for the fans.
A lot of people in that area, kids wanted binoculars for like their 12th birthday. You know, it was good. Like we're having a run on binoculars.
I know.
Why? Says it was closed and demolished for an office park.
Oh,
That's an outrage. What about the people?
Oh, that's probably is that the Neshaminy Interplex up there
I have
now?
no idea. As long as the Lincoln Drive-In's still there, I'm okay. I want those hourly rates.
The
and I
Lincoln
want
Motor Inn, yeah,
the
it's
Lincoln
still-
Motor
that's
Inn.
still there.
I want the hourly rates. I want HBO, and I want the color TV.
That's right.
That's all I care about when you're doing an hourly thing, Harry. You know what I mean? Remember when it used to say HBO, color TV, HBO,
AC in room.
AC,
Wow.
in room. Not AC Cali.
No.
Anyway, let's go to Pete down in Richmond, Virginia, where they're taking down statues by the hour. Pete, what statue did they take down today in the great city of Richmond? Pete?
Pete?
Did he hang up? He didn't like my statue question? I like to know relevance about, because that's what's happening locally.
It
And
sounds like he's there, but
Is he there?
maybe he put us on hold and didn't realize we were coming back so fast.
It's an outrage.
You know what we should do? We should maybe play a strapper line.
We have a strapper line call waiting. I hope it's not the same guy from yesterday. Not Manny, he was good. The other guy.
Manny, yeah.
Doesn't look like we have anything new for today on the strapper line.
Well, no, we had some that we didn't play before from yesterday.
We got the long one from Play Action. Do you want that?
We have time?
Yeah, let's play that
Let's
one.
get Play Action Reel on. He's a quality caller, Harry, and that's what it's all about. It's not about quantity. It's about quality. That's what I always say to
What
women.
up? This is your boy Play Action Reel here in Arizona, still keeping your golf dreams alive. And you know I love the show. Always give you shout-outs, Tony. The best thing that ever happened to you was Miss Robin and Harry, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And I really want to give the Twitch guys a shout-out. You got your AJ in San Antonio. Thanks to him for everything. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
How about AJ Marcos and Bearcat AJ? And
Yes.
Hubba AJ.
A lot of AJs.
Tony
in.
Bruno's initials are also AJ.
AJ Ford.
Conspiracy? No, you got your S Falcon 39s.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Robin, don't forget to say hello to him. I don't want to freak out, man. He's in Detroit. Something could happen, especially to the RoboCop statue.
Exactly.
You know, Dean and Clearwaters. D. Conrad Vegas. Cujo Knows. Stu No Gots. 91 Sixers. Beach Babes. Hey-oh. How about hitting the effing post?
How about him?
Bob from Valley Forge. Big Bill Kennedy. Ice Rink in Ottawa. Joey Bonocos. Matt Groves. Mikey Mrs. Hair Plugs. Beer Vax. TMCD 215. You got Jose in Norristown. Don't forget. What up? Jeff Bruder. Rebel Man 9311. Joe Quills. Pat Canine. I see you in the studio drinking. The real Frank Rizzo statue. Clarky Bob's. Fairweather Marvin's. Blind Rage 13. B Mitch 88. Destro's Fan. D. Caleb Mutumbos. And my true friend, the Penguin AZ. And if I didn't mention your name, that just means you need to step up your game.
Damn right.
I know this is a really long message. I'm hoping maybe you want to give me one of those for that.
No.
Anyway, later.
Let me give him one of these for that.
Wow.
Let's like talk about recognition of the fellow Twitch streamers out there.
That was like a roll call.
It was a roll call.
He was getting like all of the major
I know.
regulars, and I agree with him. Everybody else needs to step up their game.
Yeah.
Because if you
TMC
didn't mention
215
him,
says,
then
glad somebody's paying attention to the Twitch stream. Oh. That's a pretty good roll call right there.
That's pretty impressive.
SmackDown 26 tomorrow.
Great.
Tony.
It's a good warm-up for the SmackDown. Yes.
Real quick, I just wanted mention the drive-in theater screens.
Yes, what's the actual size?
The largest drive-in theater screen is in Middle River, Maryland, and it's 52 feet high and 120 feet wide.
Yeah, that's too big. I can't afford that kind of plywood.
That's
It
a lot.
won't fit in my backyard.
That's a lot.
No, I don't want the largest. I want I need a regulation.
You say the median's probably like 40 feet high.
40 feet by what?
Yeah.
80.
80?
You're just guessing now?
40 by 80. Well,
I don't want to guess. I need to know what I need to project up some quality entertainment.
40 by 80. That's what I saw.
80
as well.
feet's big, Robin.
You saw 40 by 80? Well,
Are
I mean,
you sure? Can we go start ripping plywood off of boarded up businesses here in South Philadelphia?
Do you know how
We
many
could put
old
that-
sheets I'm going to have to
I
No, I'm just going to get white paint. We're going to get rollers and roll the baby out.
No, they have portable blow-up drive-in screens.
Yeah,
for
for
like $200.
backyard. Yeah, but they're backyard things. They're tiny.
Yeah, you don't
they're
really
not
have a
that tiny.
backyard.
I don't have a backyard.
Right.
I want to put this. I want to close off a couple of blocks down here.
Okay.
We'll make our own autonomous zone.
Okay.
And then we'll just put some barricades up. Not the big not the heavy ones with water, and not the concrete ones. We'll just get some, police ones. The orange one, the ones where you put the two horses and then you slide that one bar across.
Okay, Tony. So
Yes.
if we're talking about closing off a street,
Yes.
even past Young, so the widest we could probably go is like 25
15,
feet.
20
yeah,
feet.
15 to 20,
Yeah,
25
20
feet.
feet.
And then I'll need the rent projections. The Rent-A-Center, did they gut that too? Because
I don't
I
know.
know they had the Rent-A-Centers there was a big run on Rent-A-Center stuff, and they have all the projectors.
I'm sure Kaneen can get us a
Yeah, we'll get it.
projector.
We'll hook us up.
Yeah.
We'll hook that baby up.
Now, what kind of movies are we showing?
I got a lot of different. I got some special features. I got double features. We're not going to just
This
do.
is a family area
I
down
know
here,
it is.
Tom.
We can do late. We'll do a late night after 10 o'clock show. We'll do the kid stuff early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll put some real cartoons.
Put a bounce house out
We'll
there,
have
too.
we'll have the now banned Looney Tunes cartoons that can't be shown on HBO. You know what I'm saying? We'll go old school, man. We'll bring back the classics. Coming up in the next hour, Jeff Passan from ESPN. What the hell's going on with baseball? We'll find out. Stick around.
We actually have one more strapper line. It's a minute and a half, but we should play this one when we come back. It's a good one, even though it's a day old.
Some good drive-in theater knowledge right there.
So, Josie, Ryan, we have one more. It's just the only one, and then as soon as it's played, just archive it. That way we know it's over and done with.
Yeah. He thinks he's a lot better than he is.
Who's that?
Jamal Adams. He's good, but he's not. He thinks he's like elite.
Brian, can you do me a favor and grab me another water, please, in there? I filled it up. There should be plenty in there.
McMullen picks up chicks at bounce houses.
Bounce houses? Oh, man. Oh. What did Clarky Bob say that Nightbot said that? Is that the bot? Robin?
What?
Is that Nightbot the actual bot? The moderator?
Yes. That is a moderator. What did he say?
What did
Let's see.
Clarky Bob say that
Nightbot
made the
timed
Nightbot
up.
check
Clarky
in?
Bot.
Wasn't he on Game of Thrones, the Nightbot?
See, Clarky Bob, that should not have been
Checked. Yeah,
checked
not
because
Josie and the Pussycats.
Not Josie and the Pussycats is what it should have. He should have totally allowed that.
Yeah.
I don't know why Nightbot is doing that.
That son of a bitch was in Game of Thrones, wasn't he? I
Well,
thought they killed him.
It's
Nightbot.
because he said Pussycats, and the P word, pussy, apparently can't
What
be
about
used.
Pussy Riot and all the other great?
I'm with you.
Aren't they Russian? Isn't that a
There you
Russian
go.
band, the Pussy Riot Chicks?
Yep.
Clarky Bob, that's better. See, you didn't get blocked for that one. It's total outrage. It wasn't me, Clarky Bob.
Yeah, I know. She, you know why? Because she had a tattoo and she had an Etsy shirt on.
Oh, see, it's
You know what
because
happened to her? I
put it
tweeted
in-
this morning. The good news
No.
is that she got a job. Jim Kenney hired her as a new fire commissioner. See the woman that
See, you
set
can't
fire to the
put-
police
you
cars?
can't- TMCD 215, you can't separate pussy and cats. You have to have it all together as one word.
Not Josie and the Pussycats. Remember that cartoon? Josie and the Pussycats. The night bot cometh.
Are we talking about Fritz the cat?
Fritz the cat. That was good old school hardcore cartoons.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
It is the thirsty throwback COVID-free Thursday to be followed up tomorrow by a COVID-free, sucker-free Friday, Harry.
I like it.
You like that?
Yes.
Coming up this hour, we'll talk some baseball with Jeff Passan from ESPN, one of the best in the business. Worked at Yahoo for many years. ESPN swooped right in there like they did with Woj.
Oh, yeah.
Both great writers at Yahoo Sports. And then ESPN said, bam, let's get that Jeff Passan out of there. Put him on baseball. Boom. And then they went to Woj and got a Woj bomb and put him on ESPN as the best NBA guy out there. Is there any doubt about that, Harry?
No question.
Exactly
No
right.
question. And we got, Ron Flatter tomorrow and
Yes.
Bob Costas, right?
Bob Costas and Ron Flatter. Ron Flatter out there in Las Vegas covering horse racing like nobody's business, Harry.
Right.
And he will give us the Stone Cold, and yes, I will release the Stone Cold Belmont, the 152nd Belmont locks. I'll give you the I'll give you the winner. I'll give you the
Exacta.
the exacta, the trifecta, and the superfecta at no additional charge to you, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, are you going to put them in this time?
Absolutely, I'm going to put them in.
He
Send
better.
them in, Jerome.
Because I don't know if we could have a show on Monday if this
No.
happens again.
No, I will do it because I'm going alone.
I would not survive.
I'm going. Robin will not be there. She's the mush.
I was
She's
not
mush.
the one that caused
Luigi
this one.
was the mush. He cost
Don't
me
you be blaming that one on
cost
me.
me $51,000.
Wow.
Lollygagging with all these other combinations that I gave out on the air.
No, it
and I will
was-
never live it down. A year later, Harry.
I agree.
Wasn't
I'm
it
still having
500,000?
night sweats.
People are still talking about it on the Twitch stream, on
I'm
Twitter,
having
everywhere.
meat sweats, night sweats, Keith sweats,
Now, will
all
we-
kinds of sweats.
Will we also have John McMullen tomorrow? Because
Yes, we
it is
will.
a Friday.
Yes, we will. Whether we want him or not, he will be here. The Twitch board would be devastated if we don't finish a week with another John McMullen.
Well, the Twitch board wants his picks
Yes,
for,
they
for
do.
the race, too.
Absolutely.
Oh, God.
I know. So Dean's, I already put out the picks. So Dean has posted his picks on our Twitch stream. You got to go to twitch.tv to get those. Absolutely free. And once again, I will destroy Dean because his handicapping knowledge of the ponies, not even in my stratosphere, Harry. And I don't mean the Stratosphere Tower in Las Vegas. I mean the stratosphere of being a good horseman and a horse's ass at the same time.
Now, we have another strapper call.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
We have
Is this
one-
fresh? Fresh
Yes,
out the
it's
kitchen?
fresh.
It's not actually. It's because it wasn't played the other day. We didn't have enough time. So, but it is good, and it's from somebody that we haven't heard from yet. So, it's from area code 410.
Is it Baba Booey? Is it Captain Jenks?
No, it is not
Tony,
Baba.
it's Rome.
Oh.
Just got off my Peloton. Wanted to tell you, phenomenal show today. Hey, tell your boy McMullen if he wants to jump on the smack off. This is what's going to happen to him. You hear that? My paper crumpling. Epic. Bruno, it's Frank B. I called in a while back on your show. I'm in Wisconsin. Hey, you got to get that Chris and Lacrosse laugh drop into the show. Get that implemented somehow. But hey, long-time listener. Since, man, like Andrew Siciliano days, I've watched you through Best Damn Sports Show and so on and so on. Love the Mark Willard segment today. I totally forgot about the Tommy Lasorda ripping old Will Markey Willard. But, man, that was hilarious. It was great hearing him and you on the same show together. Awesome. I loved it. Enjoyed it. I posted that YouTube video of you guys and Raj doing the Make It Rain compilation sensation on the All Request Wednesday, too. I put that on Twitter. That was great stuff. But, hey, let's get together and talk some fantasy football this NFL season, NFL stuff as well. Send me a DM, but keep up the good work on the show. I listen every day.
follow on Twitch. I'm not as active in the Twitch chat room as I'd like to be due to my boss, but I get in there when I can. Love you, Tony.
Rack that guy.
Yeah, rack
that guy.
Now, that is Fantasy Wire HQ on Twitter.
Oh, that's the Fantasy Wire
Yes.
headquarters. Not just Fantasy Wire regular. Not just Fantasy Wire light. That's the headquarters, Harry.
Nice. That was a great call.
And you're a big fantasy guy.
Oh, yeah.
Not Fantasy Show Bar, which you've already discussed on this program.
I was there once, way back in the day.
And by the way, speaking of drive-ins, we were talking last hour, R.I.P. Marin County porno drive-in out there in Northern California. Isn't it funny that the end of the drive-in era was all showing pornos on big screens and drive-ins?
Yeah.
And now they're coming back and they're showing regular movies. Because people, listen.
Because
it's
you can
easy to
socially
sit them
distance.
You can now. Well, you don't have to socially distance.
No, but I'm saying a family can just be in their own car, but they can be
You're right.
6 feet from the
Isolated
other car.
from everybody else.
You're isolated.
You think couples are going to the drive-in theaters to socially distance, Harry?
I'm just saying it's amenable to that.
Not for me. I don't go with a
They
carload of people, man.
They can not socially distance inside their own little bubble of
Right.
social distancing.
Right.
We're going to have to build
See how
more
that
bubbles,
works?
Harry.
What don't you understand?
We need somebody out there who's very industrious. I already said I would build a drive-in theater billboard to put up on the street when we close our streets here.
Right.
And decide that we are taking over the autonomous zone here in South Philadelphia. We'll keep it straight. No Antifa allowed. No spray cans allowed anywhere near the premises.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you need a permit from your buddy, the mayor?
I use it, but I'm there's no laws anymore.
Yeah.
So
Philly is lawless at the moment.
Exactly. We have no law, no order. Even the reruns of Law and Order have been canceled, from what I understand. Even they're lawless.
All right, are we going to get to this Belk Bowl?
Yeah, let me finish. I got a couple. I got two college football stories we'll get to before Jeff Passan joins us. So last hour we told you the Belk Bowl in Charlotte, North Carolina is over. The new bowl, the new name, the new sponsor, Harry. It's something that a lot of people don't know about, even though it ranks number 3 in Casey's countdown of the top mayonnaise companies in America. You and Robin will be going to the Duke's Mayo Bowl in Charlotte, North Carolina, everybody.
Wow.
How about that? How about that?
Now, the only thing that could be better for Harry and I is if it were the Tuna Bowl.
Well, it won't. But the one problem with the Duke's Mayo, now Duke's Mayo is the third biggest brand in this country.
I never even heard of
I don't think I've heard of it either.
Hellman's, that's why they're sponsoring a bowl game that nobody will watch except degenerate gamblers.
See, this stuff works, Tony.
Yeah.
Hellman's mayonnaise is number 1.
Right.
Kraft is number 2. Duke's Mayo is number 3, Harry.
Okay.
The one thing, though, depending on the weather, they will not be serving tuna salad, macaroni salad, or potato salad because of the fear of botulism. And you put the COVID and the botulism together in one.
And
And
mix
you
it up
serve it
together.
at halftime at the Duke's Mayo Bowl.
Right.
Everybody's going to die.
Now, is
Everybody's going to die when they leave the stadium down there where your Carolina Panthers play.
I have the antibodies for mayo that's left out in the sun.
We're talking botulism.
I've eaten enough potato salad,
Me too.
macaroni
And I'm
salad.
fine.
You name it.
I want to know if
Because
there's
Robin's
anybody...
the biggest mayonnaise freak.
Oh.
She puts she does the Dutch thing and the European. She dips French fries in mayonnaise.
I've done that.
It's delicious.
But that's big in Europe. They don't
Oh, it
use
is?
ketchup. They use mayonnaise.
Yeah. Ketchup is an American thing on French fries.
Mm-hmm.
And
You also dip them in
mayo's-
your milkshake, too.
The fries?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. But I don't have a problem. Mayo, there's too much fat in mayo. Look, I just got my cholesterol blood check here. My cholesterol's high.
You need a little fat.
See, the processed mayonnaise is actually worse for you. The real mayonnaise, which is heavy in egg and nice and creamy,
Right.
is the best.
These are all jars, Robin. They're sold in stores. You can whip up
But
your own
maybe
mayonnaise
Duke's
at
is
home.
better than
Robin
the other
and I
ones.
will bring our own cans of tuna down to the Duke's Mayo
I'm
Bowl.
old school, but I'm not churning my own butter anymore. You know what I'm saying, huh?
We can get some hard-boiled eggs and make some egg salad.
Bring some rolls down
Oh, yeah.
from Sarcones.
Is Temple going to make that bowl game?
No, they're not eligible. It's actually the alliance for these bowls is let's see. It's the ACC, the Big Ten, or the SEC.
Oh, so they're not eligible.
And there's also going to be a Duke's Mayo game, the Duke's Mayo Classic.
Oh.
The first incarnation will feature Wake Forest and Notre Dame Saturday, September the 26th at Bank of America Stadium. So this year,
So it's
Wake
all about
against
Duke's mayonnaise
Notre
down
Dame.
there.
Yeah.
And that early in the season, that mayonnaise is going to spoil in a hurry. Harry.
Oh, yeah.
You better have that damn tuna salad out of there. It's going to stink up that whole stadium, man. More than the Panthers did a couple of years ago. Wow.
Yep.
Now,
Duke's Mayo. Is there a
Duke's
golf?
Mayo.
When's the Duke's Mayo Golf Classic, Harry?
I don't know.
But we have a more trouble.
I have some Duke's Mayo news, Tony Bruno.
Is this breaking news? Breaking eggs news? I go aioli before I go mayo. I'm sorry, Harry.
Even though Harry and I have never heard of Duke's Mayo, apparently it is available and for sale at the Walmart Supercenter right here in Philadelphia.
beautiful.
No wonder I've never heard of it. It's available at Walmart.
You've never been in there. Next time I go in and loot that Walmart, I'll go in there and look for some Dukes. Grab a couple jars, throw it in the bag.
It's also
carry one of
available at the
16.
Dollar General store.
Never been there either.
Never been into either.
What the hell's that?
Dollar's a dollar store, except everything's not a dollar.
Yeah.
They call it Dollar General. Then you walk in there and there's stuff for $6.
Okay.
I ain't walking into a dollar store if I'm paying more than $1.
Have you ever been into a Giant?
Yes.
Okay, they carry it at Giant.
Okay.
But we have a disturbing story from college football. We have to get to this before the break, though. It's not great, Harry, to be a Florida Gator anymore. Yes, cancel culture has now hit the SEC. The University of Florida will no longer be allowed to use its Gator bait cheer at sporting events because of historic racist imagery associated with the phrase. Now, you've seen it. I've seen it. Been the Final Fours.
Sure.
You go down there to Tallahassee.
Or Gainesville.
Gainesville, I'm sorry.
Somebody needs to explain that to me, how that is
So when
associated
we have
with-
the tape. You can go to a game, and I always do it. It's great to be a Florida Gator, and then they do the chomp. Unlike the tomahawk chop, a Florida Gator. And then they do the
right.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. And again, I don't know the historic racist imagery
Well, I have it.
associated with alligator. When you go into a swamp, the alligator doesn't care what color you are.
No, I know.
I don't even
Alligators
know-
eat anything, Harry.
We don't even know if alligators are male or female by the look at. I mean, how? What?
Okay. According,
Let's go to the update desk. Harry
Yeah.
has the explanation now.
According to the Jim Crow Museum of Racist Memorabilia at Ferris State University.
There's a Jim Crow Museum of
I'm reading
Racist
this-
Memorabilia?
I'm reading this right out of the ESPN article.
Okay, go ahead.
African American babies were used as alligator bait, citing newspaper articles and imagery from the late 1800s and early 20th century. The term alligator bait was also used as a racial slur. So there you go.
Well, that's
I was
horrific.
unaware of all
I
of
was
that.
unaware of it
that
either.
as well.
So
You
That's
think any
horrific.
of these dumb college kids who are doing the gator bait thing, all they're saying is it's great to be a Florida Gator.
Right.
And now that's gone, Harry. What are they going to do now? What's Riley Cooper going to do when he goes back for a reunion with Tim Tebow and that team that went deep?
That's a bad
I know. What's give me some other great Florida Gators, Harry. What's Tim Tebow going to do when he kneels down there at the University
Emmitt
of Florida?
Smith.
What's Emmitt Smith going to do?
Percy Harvin.
Percy
Chris
Harvin.
Collinsworth.
Exactly. They should just shut that baby down. What's the old ball coach going to do when he goes back down there with the visor?
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Well, I actually have to say I agree with that one. Then that's horrific.
I
It is
agree.
absolutely horrific. So.
I
But
never
I did
even
have
thought
to
about
have it explained to me, and
Now we know
now we know.
the rest of the story. But a tomahawk chop is still cool, though, because it's not a gun, at least. At least when they're chopping people's heads off at Florida State and the Atlanta Braves, that's okay.
With spears.
With spears and
Yeah,
arrows
yeah.
and tomahawks, as long as they don't have guns, Harry. As long as they don't have guns. We're coming right back. Jeff Passan from ESPN. We'll talk baseball. What is the very latest? You're going to find out next. Stick around.
Now, Lawrence Wright, who says he popularized the phrase, if you ain't a Gator, you Gator bait, baby. After saying it following a win over Florida State in 1995, he played for the Gators.
Right.
He was upset at this decision. He says, I'm not going for it. He was a safety. He goes, I created something for us. It's a college football thing. It's not a racist thing. It's about us, the Gator Nation. And I'm black. What about our history as the Gator Nation? We took a program from the top 5 to #1 in the country. I think I've done enough, putting the sweat and tears to get to offer my opinion.
No, he'll be
So
canceled, Robin.
He's not into it.
He has just because he's black doesn't mean he has to have an opinion. That doesn't count. If everybody else says he's racist, that's all that matters, Harry.
That was also in the article.
I didn't read the whole article. Is it by a chick? Right?
Well,
Yes.
I have to say, there's one thing.
Andrea Adelson.
Yeah,
There
that's
is
the one
one
I
thing
have.
that I'm still having a hard time wrapping my brain around is that if something is used totally unassociated, but then all of a sudden you say it's associated with, just because somebody says it's associated with racism, then all of a sudden it's not okay, even though it had never been associated with racism before. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I mean, I could say that, white underwear is now associated. I don't know. Like you just come up with something, and just because I say it's associated with racism and I'm offended by it, then that makes it so. It shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't just be able to say that because where does it end? Yeah. But that is actually a.
Well, now we have a new Washington Post thing to cancel. And it's getting ripped, of course, because it's another piece of shit article. And it's Robbie Suave, who works for Reason, it's not a right-wing site. A few years ago, something mildly embarrassing occurred at a Halloween party hosted by a Washington Post cartoonist. A white woman painted her face black and wore a name tag that read, "Hello, my name is Megyn Kelly," in reference to the TV host's controversial defense of white people wearing blackface.
Mm-hmm.
The intended butt of the joke would appear to be Kelly, not black people. Regardless, several guests approached, explained to her that it was not okay. The woman left the party in tears. So this is a long article, 3,000-word article written by it.
It's too long.
So the article is titled "Blackface Incident at Post Cartoonist 2018 Halloween Party Resurfaces Amid Protests." How does it resurface?
Yeah.
Unless you resurface
right,
it.
exactly.
So a story from years ago is now resurfaced because the Washington Post thinks it's important to resurface something about a party that occurred years ago and a woman who got fired as a result of it.
Joey Binoco, do it, do it, do it. He says he's trying to get up his nerve to leave a strapper line message.
Welcome back to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Oh, yes, indeed. So we got the college football portion of the program at Harry. We talked NFL earlier. NBA, the New York Knicks are allowed to interview assistant coach Will Hardy, one of the young assistants with the San Antonio Spurs. So the Knicks looking to hire a new coach. But baseball's trying to hire anybody to come back and fill stadiums.
Yeah.
Not with fans, but employees. Whatever they need to do, they're still lollygagging. And Jeff Passan, the great baseball writer from ESPN, joins us now. We talked with Buster Olney earlier. Every hour, Jeff, thanks for coming on. Every hour things change. Is the latest that they're now at a standstill again and an impasse?
Well, I'm not going to say impasse because that's a legal term, and every time I use the word impasse, lawyers tell me that I'm a moron. So I don't want to do that.
Well, we're not lawyers.
And we don't even play one on the radio.
Right.
I think standstill is it's about right, but I still feel like this thing is just too close at this point not to move. And I know that the owners are angry, and I know that the players are angry, and I damn sure know that the fans are angry. So if we've all got this collective anger, why not just get rid of it, figure it out, and get as much baseball as you possibly can this year? That to me seems like the most reasonable solution in this situation, and what I think ultimately is going to get done. And if it doesn't, then it turns out to be a 50 or so game season and no expanded playoffs. And, we live with that. And there's anger and animus and bad relations. And it puts 2021 in jeopardy and 2022 in jeopardy. The outcome for a matter of principle and 5 games or 5 days worth of games, it just does not make sense.
No, I agree with you. We had Buster on earlier, and he said the same thing. But I read earlier today you were talking about, and you and Jeff Rogers had a story that the Players Association was finalizing a proposal to the Major League Baseball owners in the neighborhood of 70 games. And we joked around, and I played, Mr. Rogers from In the Neighborhood. What neighborhood? Jason Stark, another respected guy that everybody knows, Hall of Famer. He said yesterday 66 games makes sense from a statistical standpoint about playing games. Yet the owners and the players can't figure this out. And why is that? Because that's the $1 million question. How come the owners and players can't figure this out and get it done?
Because they don't like each other and because they feel like the other side is continuously dealing in bad faith, and because they don't want to be the one who then goes and deals in good faith, and the other side then says, you know what, you extended the olive branch, but we're going to grab it and snap it in two and tell you what we want to do. And it's just, it's become a tiresome endeavor for everybody involved. And this all goes back to the March agreement, Tony. I mean, on March 26th, they came to an agreement that should have laid the groundwork for a return-to-play scenario, but instead they've spent the last 2 months disagreeing on what the agreement said. And every time you have a disagreement on an agreement, that's a sign of a problematic relationship, and exactly where we are right now. The Players Association doesn't like the league, and the league does not like the Players Association. And when you have two sides that are at loggerheads like this, it makes it extraordinarily difficult to come together on a deal, even when you're as close as they are right now.
Well, Jeff, they say that deadlines produce action, and I know there is no hard and fast deadline here, and maybe that's part of the problem, but they are running out of time if they want to get any appreciable amount of games in and get it done by September the 27th to have their playoffs. So are we about at that time this weekend? Is this basically it?
I really hope so. I'm tired of this. Like, have you guys seen me lately? Like, I look terrible.
Well, we all do.
Everybody does. We haven't had a haircut in 4 months.
I don't need a haircut, but we're battered performers. And we've been through this, we've been the 94 rodeo we went through. That wasn't even close to this. At least we had finality, and we knew it was over.
Yeah, we also didn't have the internet. I mean, that tends to pour napalm on a situation like this. And listen, it's really unfortunate because the truth is they should be playing baseball right now. They literally should be playing games right now. But they aren't, and they're not going to be for another month. And who knows what's going to happen in the country over the next month. And, I'm hopeful that the COVID cases are not going to get to the point and they're not going to spread throughout clubhouses and are not going to cause the season to get shut down. But, who knows? It's a hard thing to try and figure out on the fly when you simply don't know what a disease is and know enough about it to know the form that it would take in a situation like this.
Jeff Passan of ESPN, baseball writer. We had mentioned Buster on earlier. He says it's going to take one owner to step up. We had 8 owners reportedly yesterday who wanted no season at all. So who will be the one owner if that's what it's going to take to kick these guys in the butt and say, let's get this done? And do you still stand by the whole there's 8 owners out there who really don't want to play? And do we know who those people are?
I've heard like every number 1 through 15 of owners who don't want to play. And, the focus on the number 8 is not a surprise because all it takes is 8 owners to shut down any plan. You need 75% vote. And when you got 30 teams, 8 is the magic number. But I think that if Rob Manfred finds a proposal that he believes in and takes it back to owners, that they're going to get on board with it. It may not be unanimous, but it will be enough to get a season started. And so the idea that the owners are going to completely shut down the season, over the last couple days, I've considered it a possibility, but the more people I talk with right now, Tony, the less I believe that's the case. So it feels like the options right now are either a short season of around 50 or so games or a slightly less short season of around 65.
I have breaking news from the Jeff Passan Twitter feed, which I did not see, and I'm just seeing it now.
At Jeff Passan, yes.
And you look like a battered performer. I'm watching this videotape of you presumably in your driveway measuring to a basketball rim at the end of your driveway, and you go all the way across the street. You look clean and fresh. So this must have been recent. You're wearing a Coca-Cola shirt, and you're doing this, I guess, with Pat McAfee and Dan Orlovsky, and you throw a football all the way from the street all the way to the end of your driveway and hit nothing but the bottom of the net. Tell me that this is recent, right? So how can you tell me that you look battered? You look like you're ready to play.
I put on a lot of makeup that day. No, this was for my friend Chris Snow, who worked with me at the student paper at Syracuse University and is now the assistant GM of the Calgary Flames and was diagnosed a year ago with ALS. And we're doing trick shots for him. Look at hashtag trick shot for Snowy on Twitter. And my trick shot was to throw a football across the street into my neighbor's basketball hoop 33 yards away. And it took me 3 tries, but I nailed it. But it was a good feeling because I was convinced that it was going to take me a lot more than 3 tries.
Did Ben Simmons watch this and say, I want to come back and see if I can hit one from at least in front of your car? Let's start out at like 20 feet and then work our way in.
Oh, that is so rude, but so funny.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome stuff there. So that's not even your driveway. Is that your car?
That is my neighbor's driveway. That is not my car. No, I am across the street and up the street a little bit.
And that's not even a permanent. That's one of those ones you inflate. That's one of those with the sand
with
or the
sand
water
in the
bases
bottom,
that you can move around.
Yeah. It's a sandbag hoop. And first try went off the backboard and it shook the backboard a little. Second try, there's an overhanging limb from one of their big trees in Kansas City that are everywhere, and I hit the tree. And third one, bucket.
Screw baseball. Let's just do a trick shot league and get all the top sports writers in America and say, baseball players, you sit in your basement and play Fortnite. We're going to go outside and do physical stuff and be at one with nature.
I love it. I'm in.
Hashtag trick shot for Snowy. And that looked like it was about 100 feet.
How many?
By the way, it wasn't even the best one. So Chris, like I said, was diagnosed June 10th of last year. And a doctor's appointment on June 17th last year was told he's got about a year to live.
Wow.
And so yesterday, on June 17th, on that anniversary, goes to a football field, sets up a football on a tee, and bangs a field goal from 43 yards out. Dead center. At this point, his doctors thought that he might not be walking. He might not be moving. And he's out there kicking field goals from 43 yards. It was absolutely incredible. And seriously, if you're on Twitter right now, hashtag trick shot for Snowy. Go check it out. And go do one of your own. And there's a website, snowystrong.ca, that is taking donations for research, ALS Awareness Month in Canada right now. I urge everyone, even if you have $1, it would be a wonderful cause to donate to.
And our good buddy Pat McAfee is involved. Obviously, he does anything.
Yeah.
Any kind of challenge, Pat's going to be involved, right?
He's in.
He's the best. Did you see what he did?
I'm looking at it now. So did he throw a football too?
It looks like he did it over a building.
He threw a football over a freaking building.
Wow. At least he didn't jump off into a barge like he did on college
game day. He jumped in the water.
You know what? I would have been okay with that too. No, he threw a football 60 yards over a building. Didn't quite get into the trash can because apparently the employees at Key Bank were not happy with him throwing the football over a building and came out and told him to stop. But he, the first try, nailed the trash can.
Awesome. So
Pretty
every
impressive.
$10, so obvious people are sending $10 for every every foot to snowystrong.ca. That's snowystrong.ca to help Chris Snow, Calgary, and a lot of hockey players involved, obviously, up in Calgary and all over the NHL doing great stuff. That's awesome. Last thing about getting back to baseball here, and that is there a drop-dead date in your head, or are we just kidding ourselves thinking that it could be tonight, it could be tomorrow, it has to be by Saturday, it has to be by Sunday?
I think because Rob Manfred has the ability to set a schedule, the drop-dead date is the one that he chooses. Now, the thing is, if it's going to be 50 games, Tony, you can start the season theoretically at the beginning of August at that point.
Right.
And so this being, I've lost track of time. Is it June 18th today? Is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
This being the 18th, we could wait another 2 weeks for spring training to start and spend all of July doing that, and then have a couple of exhibition games and go out for the season. So there's also the reality, if there's a deal that gets done tonight, players are going to be in camp in a week. And 3 weeks after that, we're going to have games. And that is that's a pretty exciting time right now in baseball, the notion that July 19th could well be opening day.
And, and that's all great. But first, we got to get the agreement. Then secondly, we don't know where these teams are going to play. There's no bubble sites. There's not like Orlando.
No.
Where are they going to do spring training? Are they going to go to Florida, Arizona? Arizona and Florida having COVID relapses now, another wave, so to speak. Are they going to play in their own ballparks? How are they going to set that up? Is there any way they can do that stuff logistically when it's taken them so long just to get the basic deal done?
Yeah, I think the logistical stuff they've been working on for a long time now, and I'm not going to say that it's safe. I'm not going to say that it's going to keep the coronavirus away from baseball players, because they're not doing the bubble. They're giving players liberty to go and do what they're going to do. But I think the players who do not take the steps to protect themselves are going to be, shamed is the right word, but they're certainly going to have aspersions cast on them by their teammates who don't want to catch the disease either and don't want to bring it home to their families. That's the problem when you go outside of the bubble. It makes it very difficult to avoid this, and you just hope the measures that they have in place, and they actually have a pretty impressive protocol that was drawn up by the league in terms of health and safety. You hope those measures do enough, but man, it's one of those things where all it takes is one mistake, and the thing gets spread like wildfire.
Two other quick ones. The DH, is that going to happen in both leagues?
Yes. If there's an agreement in place, if MLB implements the season, though, it will not.
And then, of course, selling ads on those jerseys, I don't have a problem with it. Every other sport does it. Is that going to happen?
Yeah, that will happen, too, and I'm sorry, I'm not romantic enough to really care about it. It's like we live in 2020 now. The fact that MLB's held out as long as it has is actually kind of impressive itself.
Yeah.
Now, what about playing ping pong doubles? Will they be allowed to play ping pong doubles when they go in a garage somewhere and
In
start
the
playing ping?
clubhouse, yeah.
When Bryce Harper puts down the Fortnite joystick and decides to play ping pong in the Phillies clubhouse with his teammates, can they play doubles?
No.
Jeff, appreciate your time, man.
Thanks,
Great
Jeff.
to talk to you again. Continued success. You're killing it at ESPN. I remember back in the day at Yahoo and back at Syracuse with all my friends like Andrew Siciliano and company. And why are you not following me on Twitter, I guess, is the final thing that really is irritating me today, Jeff.
Is it really irritating you?
Nah, I just always.
Yes, it is.
No, it's part of my shtick. If I find out that a guest is not following me on Twitter, then I become outraged and demand that you follow me.
Which is exactly why I'm not going to follow you.
Let's give him a roaring round of applause.
I'm going to give you a roaring round of applause for that. The great Jeff Passan. He can do it all except get the baseball season restarted. Jeff, good to talk to you, man. Thanks for coming on.
All right, Tom. Do well, man.
There he is, Jeff Passan.
That's perfect.
That's a lot of fun. He's another Syracuse guy.
Yeah.
We have this, love-hate relationship. They love me, and I hate them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, it goes back to Andrew. And, how many guys do you know in the industry. And it used to be just radio and TV.
I think Bob Costas is a Syracuse
Absolutely.
guy, isn't he? Yeah.
You look at the number of guys that go up to that Newhart school up there.
Newhouse.
Now, Bob Newhart, I thought
Oh.
he had. That was the one in Vermont. I
Yeah.
think. That was a different. Not the Columbia or Connecticut School of
No.
Broadcasting. They went to the Newhouse School. Not the Robert Newhouse, former fullback for the Dallas Cowboys. It's not
Right.
named after him, Harry.
And I think they're canceling my name and picture on the wall at Columbia.
Are they really?
CSB, yeah.
Did the
some
mayor
odd
of Philadelphia go over there and paint over it like the mural of Frank Rizzo? Do you have your picture on the wall
reason.
over
Yeah,
there?
they put your pictures on the wall.
And then they took it down?
No, I'm just joking.
Did you sign it? Are you signed on the wall there?
No, you don't sign it. They just put a picture of you.
Does it have your name under it? It's like
Yes.
a plaque?
Not a plaque.
Is it
it's-
engraved? Is it
no.
embossed?
No.
Is it shiny?
Yes. Yes, it's shiny. Because it's got plexiglass over it.
I don't have my pictures on
Tony
the wall
wants
at
to
Temple
know all the
University.
details.
Yeah.
Exactly. People want to know. They want to know these things, Harry.
Is there any commemoration of you at Temple? Did you
Well,
go?
they recognize me on their website.
Yeah, if under
I'm considered
alums,
I'm considered one of the elite
famous
alums.
alums.
Well, I would imagine
I may have moved ahead of Cosby. I think Cosby came down a couple
Right.
notches. I moved up. You
Yeah,
know what I
you-
mean? It's like they eliminate one and then you move up. It's like when team forfeits and you move up to second
It's like
place.
power rankings.
Exactly. Yes. I don't know where I am in the Temple power rankings right now.
You got to be ahead of Cosby.
Well, unfortunately, yes.
Does he even show up?
I think
Did
he probably
they
still
scrub him?
does.
I mean,
Now here it is. Let's go to the
All right,
list
here
of
we go.
Temple University people and get an update.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, these are. You are.
You-
Oh, it's broken down by.
Academia. I got to be in academia.
No, you're not.
No, you're
not.
broadcasting
You're
right here.
broadcasting,
Right.
probably here, right?
Here it is.
There it
Al
is.
Alberts.
Kevin
There it
Nagandi, I
is.
see. There's
And
Bruno.
Tony Bruno,
three.
number 3. Well, that's because it's alphabetical.
Yeah.
I think it's because I'm the third most famous alum from Temple in broadcasting.
Bob
Coincidence?
Saget in there.
Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Look at the name of these people. Jerry Dalcaliano.
Howard Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
John Clark.
That's right.
Johnny Airport. Ray Didinger.
Yeah.
Now I am
Cameron Hall from MSNBC.
John-
Mark
I am-
Lamont Hill.
curious to see if
John
under
Kincaid is there,
actors-
Harry.
Yeah, they don't have me on there.
If under actors,
No Kevin
if
McAlpin's on there?
Because I didn't go to the broadcasting school.
I hate to do it
Yeah.
to you.
Bill
Harry.
Cosby is still there. They have not
Yeah, he's
taken
under
him off. Yeah,
film, TV, and
television.
Wow.
Yeah.
How about that? Let me give myself a roaring round of applause, Harry.
Now, why aren't you there, Harry?
Because I didn't go to the
I didn't go to
I
the
went to the
broadcasting
business
school.
school.
But it doesn't
I'm-
matter because Tony was on. He studied political
Political
science.
Oh, you
science
did?
and journalism. I didn't
Yeah.
go to the broadcast. They didn't allow me on the air on their radio station.
Well, then whoever puts together this.
You need to make a call over there. You do the broadcast, Harry.
Yeah.
You're on the sidelines. You and Harry Donahue and Colin Thompson.
Right.
Is he on there?
Let's see.
Well, he'd be under, for sports.
Ed
I would
Shockey's
imagine.
on there, the great Philly legendary
Well,
DJ,
yeah, that guy.
rock and roll guy.
That guy's
Alright.
phenomenal.
Hold on.
Phenomenal
Whoops.
is right.
Yeah.
Sorry, people. I know I'm scroll. Whoa.
How about that? Did I give myself a roaring round of applause?
That's all right. They just gave me another excuse not to send them any money.
Here we go. Football. So
Colin
these-
Thompson in there. Dan Klecko's in there. Joe
Wait,
Klecko's in there.
Should. Raheem Brock.
Yep.
Thompson.
Henry Burris, maybe the greatest quarterback in CFL history.
I
Harry.
think he is. Terrence Knighton. No, he's not in there.
No,
Colin.
he's not in there. That is an
Wow,
outrage.
two of my personal friends. Bernard Pierce is in there.
Sure.
I do believe that whoever's
Nick
taking care-
Mickemeyer made the cut, Harry.
Yeah.
whoever's doing the Temple Twitter page.
Brandon McManus is in there.
Is
You're
that-
Denver Broncos.
Is that the Twitter page? That's the Wikipedia.
Excuse me, not Twitter. Wikipedia page is seriously slacking.
Well, this just goes to show you that Wikipedia isn't always right.
You're absolutely
Correct.
right.
You know?
They're right about me, but they're
Yeah.
wrong about you, Harry. And I think we need to call the dean. We need to call whoever we know. Called Harry Donahue, Harry.
He went to St. Joe's.
Yeah, but he's got influence in the Big Five in
Yeah.
the Temple University community.
You know
Get
who-
John Chaney on the phone. Have him threaten to kill the people who did their Wikipedia page. I'll kill you. Have him run into the Temple, into the Apollo.
You know who
and go crazy.
Who was named the interim athletic director now, don't you?
You don't.
Fran Dunphy.
Oh, is he the interim athletic director?
You know what's
Call
really
Fran Duffy,
bad?
for God's sake.
You know what's really bad?
What?
They don't have you, but they have a fictional alum.
Who's that?
A character in the television series The Office.
Oh, yeah.
Has a degree in social work from
Toby,
Temple.
yeah.
Toby Flenderson.
Yep.
Toby Flenderson, a fake guy like Rocky. Does he have a statue on the Temple campus
He
like
might.
we have a Rocky statue at the art museum?
But I think they're taking it down.
Oh, they're taking. Is he racist? I think The Office was racist, wasn't it? There weren't any white people in The Office. You talk about segregation. Were there any people of color in The
Yes,
Office?
there were. Yeah.
All right. I didn't think they did that at the Dunder Mifflin Company.
Up in fictional Scranton.
It's real Scranton. The company's fictional. Come on, Harry. So see it? I am, and Diplo is a Temple
Of
guy
course,
too.
I told you.
From Temple University.
I did not know
Exactly.
that.
He went there.
He probably makes more money than everybody on there.
I know.
No doubt about it.
Diplo, the
Seriously.
DJs make more money.
Yeah.
These club DJs, man, make gazillions of dollars.
Ray Didinger on there.
I mentioned Ray Diddy.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Anyway, we're coming back. 215-462-TONY. You want to get in? Last call, not just for alcohol, but for phone calls. Speak or forever hold your peace, as long as you have a license to carry. 215-462-TONY. 215-462-8669. It is Thirsty Thursday. Yeah, Warren Moon was great too, but we're giving up Henry Burris. Even Warren Moon thinks that Henry Burris is probably, well, I don't know the best, but he's up there.
He's got a bunch of records.
Yeah, legendary.
We should contact Warren. Have him come on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. He was on with us at the Super Bowl, right?
Oh, yeah, he always comes on. Love Warren.
Except he loves me more.
Well, of course.
To Caleb Matumba. Hell, I can't believe I didn't make the Temple list. To Caleb. Oh.
Are Hall & Oates on there?
I believe so.
Yeah, and Henry Burris is broadcasting up there in Canada, in the Canadian Football League. Eh?
Let's see. That would be under musicians, right?
Yes.
Let's see.
Check Daryl's house. Do they have a category for live from Daryl's place?
Government.
No, I always enjoy
Here we go.
that Pat
Music.
always, or Egan always had head-to-toe Temple stuff. And I'm like, where'd you go? He's like,
Newman.
Yeah, I'm like, how does that work out?
Yeah.
It's Bobo,
Daryl
man.
Hall and Oates. They're
There they
there.
are. Billy Paul, me and Mrs. Jones. We got a thing going on.
Irving Berlin.
But yeah,
but it was an honorary degree.
The one thing I found was that was Will Ferrell saying from Temple University from some old SNL skit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that. Yeah, because I remember that caught my. It's probably 20 or 20-some years old. It's Joshua Jackson was the host that week.
Joshua Jackson.
He was from Dawson's Creek.
Oh, yeah.
Tony's Wiki says he worked for Spice Channel. What?
No,
Does
it doesn't,
really?
does it?
I don't know.
You know, they used to allow people to.
I used to be a Wikipedia editor.
What is that?
This is something for a small fee, you can smell it, Harry. Look at this.
Is the Spice Channel still a thing? That was
don't
always
think
the
so.
What is that?
running joke for.
It's a woman
well,
using tissues, and guys are paying her to put tissues in her crotch
And smell them.
and smell them.
Oh, my God.
Well, they buy panties over
Where's
there.
this
isn't
at?
going to be in Japan.
Why did I know that this? I could make money with this.
Where is that?
It looks like Japan, Harry.
No, it doesn't.
Well, it's somewhere in Asia.
Personal life. Boy.
Don't they have vending machines that sell women's underwear in Asia?
Yes.
In Japan, I should say?
Yes, they do.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Used.
Well, I would imagine that, but I'm like why? Why would you put them in a vending machine?
They have vending machines for freaking everything in Japan. Anything that
How
you
much do I
possibly
get for
think of, they have
$5?
vending machines. Huh?
What do I get for $5?
Like if you go to a hotel, they have vending machines on every single floor for food, for drinks, for everything. You can purchase used women's underwear in said vending machine.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, it's.
I know it sounds harsh, but God does not want her to live.
You follow me, camera guy?
Remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I obviously am just not very entrepreneurial because I could be making so much money. I'll sell my used underwear. I'll sell, hey.
I'm just checking.
Tony Bruno, no!
We're not on the air.
It's still going out over Twitch and YouTube, and that's where I can't
All right,
have it
I
go
played
to.
like 1 second.
Okay.
Jeepers.
Who? Yeah, they always name the same 6
I
or
don't.
7.
If they sell used, I have no idea. I just know that the last time I was in Japan, I saw the underwear being sold in a vending machine at a really nice hotel. It was like.
Remember Chris from Lacrosse?
Yep.
Wonder whatever happened to her.
I hope she's okay.
We're coming back.
Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays on SiriusXM 211.
Got my new bongos that I've been playing now, thanks to Blind Rage on Twitch. Our good buddy Simone out there in Northern California,
yeah.
where the girls are warmer.
And those aren't just chintzy. Those
No,
are
these-
really
No, those-
nice wood. And
These even have like wrenches, so you can tighten
the skins.
Tighten those skins on that baby.
They're high quality.
They are high quality. Thank you so much. These are beautiful, man.
Trust me, he's been walking around the house playing the bongos already.
Naked. You got to play bongos naked, Harry. It works
you?
much better. Yeah.
Do you really?
That's a
The
rule.
sound
that
resonates more off of the naked body
Yes.
than.
Well,
Wasn't it Matthew McConaughey that was into that?
Matthew McConaughey did naked
That's so that you
bongos,
can
yes.
place. You have somewhere to place him. You
Oh,
know, but
okay.
you can hold on to him. That way, you have your hands free.
Mm.
See how that works?
Hands-free bongos?
Yeah.
Let's go back to the phones here, Harry. We got to get the we got to get the Pennsylvania governor update in here, Harry. It's an important story. But meanwhile, let's go to Cincinnati, where AJ, one of the 50 AJs on the show, checks in. What's going on, man?
Just chilling, Tony, Harry, and Miss Robin. Just eating some pasta and breadsticks right now, watching you on TV and watching the golf on another TV.
Now, what's going on the leaderboard? Harry wants to know.
I was just watching. I know there was a tie in the leaderboard at 7 under. Just golf channel was going too quick on the
Ian Poulter is one of the guys in the league.
Yeah, Ian Poulter. Yeah.
Ian Poulter.
And another American golfer were tied at 7 under. I saw Speed shooting 66. He's 5 under currently. Right. DeChambeau shot at 67. So
some
those
guy
are the only
named
ones I could see.
Mark Hubbard is tied with Ian
Yeah,
Poulter.
Hubbard,
I
yeah.
never heard of him.
Webb Simpson and Palmer are 600 tied for third. Just
By the
saw it
way,
right now.
I saw there was on Golf Channel last night because we had it on when we were after the show, and they do the show teaching golf. But they had one of the golfers who was watching Bryson DeChambeau.
Mm-hmm. DeChambeau, yeah.
on the driving range.
Mhm.
He had to back up all the way to the. He was hitting at 360, almost over the back net into somebody's house. That's how hard he was cranking that driver, man. This guy's a monster.
He is. He went 4 under
Exactly.
today.
Not L. Ron Hubbard. That's a different guy. He's a
Scientology.
Dianetics.
Yeah. That's not Scientology. That's
it is.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
Dianetics,
He's
Scientology.
He's the guy who founded all
I
that.
know he did. I didn't know that was the same thing. I thought Tom Cruise founded Dianetics.
Dianetics was a book, I think, that he
Yes,
wrote.
it was.
Yeah.
I know her. What else is going on, man?
Nothing much. Hey, great conversation with Jeff Passan, who finished third in Jim Rum's Smack Off back in 2017, and Smack Off tomorrow, baby. I
didn't
can't
know
wait.
Jeff Pat. I know that JT the Brick was on with Jim talking about being the first Smack Off champ this week. I did not know Jeff Passan was a Smack Off guy too.
Yep.
Wow,
Also,
I wish I had known that. I would have busted his chops even more.
Yeah, another Syracuse alum, David Amendola, last year participated.
DA.
Yeah, I want either DA or Passan to show up tomorrow. That would be awesome.
What about Silk
speaking of
Bra?
the-
Will Silk Bra be in the running again?
I hope so. It's hard. It's tough to get in. You know, there's a lot of great legendary callers.
Wait a minute, isn't Silk Bra one of the legends in the jungle?
Oh Oh yeah, but you have to time it perfectly. Not all the legends get in. It's tough. It's a tough. Hey, it's the biggest day. It's tough.
There's audio that we could get. It's a little long. We'd have to edit it. But Jeff Passan destroys Cal in Vegas.
Oh, he did?
It's on.
Oh, we'll have to play that
YouTube.
tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
we'll have to play that tomorrow.
It's from 2016.
Wow,
Yes.
Jeff, he was at Yahoo doing sports, writing for Yahoo Sports back then. I did not know Jeff Passan was in the jungle for the smack off. Was he reading from a prepared statement?
No, he was straight off the cuff.
Was he riffing? Was he riffing?
Oh, he was awesome. He's awesome. I thought he was going to win it for sure. I thought that he was that good until in Laguna blew up, got in Jim Rome's studio, and recreate the Sports Illustrated cover when Jim Rome was on back in '96.
Wow. See what I learned,
man.
So yeah, I was gonna make you a bet. I was gonna say I'll take Brad and Corona and Bricks and Buffalo. You take the rest of the field.
Harry, you're a guy who likes these prop bets. Harry likes the field.
Wait, we're doing fantasy
smack off blocks right now. Stone cold. We have odds posted somewhere. Are there odds offshore on this one?
At stucknut.com.
Yeah.
I checked a couple days ago that Brad was a favorite. He's like a minus 150, and Rick's like the second. Rick from Buffalo is the second best favorite at plus 200. They finished 1-2 last year. I thought Rick should have won it, but Jim thought, hey, Brad deserved to, get back to back. He's trying to go for 3 in a row. The only other person to ever win 3 in a row in the smack off was Sean Pendergast from 05 through 7. Hope Sean.
And Sean worked with me. Sean and I worked together at Fox.
He's from
Sports
H-Town.
out there.
Yeah.
He's H-Town.
Right.
Sean in H-Town.
Right.
But he worked out there in L.A. and he's still on. I think he's on Fox Sports 1, isn't he? Sean Pendergrass?
I think so.
Or did he move to ESPN?
No, he's on Houston Sports Radio 610. He
610.
does local, and he's now back on Sunday nights on CBS Sports Radio 7 to 10. He took a couple months. He was furloughed for a couple months.
You're not getting this on any other show. Does Rome mention the strapper line on his show? I mean, Jim and I are tight. I want him to give the strapper line tomorrow. If any strapper's called during the smack off, I want Rome to run him and call him a strapper. We got to get the strapper thing on.
Yeah, he's telling all his fans, hey, tweet, where you watching, because, last year there were like a couple of bars, having, Jim Rome smack off parties.
Well, they're not going to be any of those this year. The bars are all closed, and the lights are on, and nobody's home.
I'm loyal to my HB Kook silk bra.
Silk bra.
Yeah.
Silk bra.
It'd be nice if, one of the legends come back, because I know it's been a while since Silk Bra from HB won it.
Even though he doesn't like me, I give him major, major love on the show. That's Silk Bra. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But one, underdog that you got to look out for, who made his return a couple weeks back, was Jeff from Richmond, who won it back in 2002. He's loud and obnoxious, but he knows how.
Didn't Jeff in Richmond call in today?
We did have it.
No, it was Jeff in Richmond
we had a
called
guy from
in.
Richmond called today.
And he did a Rome impersonation.
Yes.
That had to be Jeff in Richmond.
That was him.
But the impersonation was from the strapper line, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but he was on.
Probably the same Jeff.
It was Jeff in Richmond doing Jim Rome.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we got crossover here, Tony.
We do have crossovers. Yeah. And then these are peaceful. They're not like the ones we used to have.
Oh, Justin Rose just chipped in for birdie on 18.
Is that breaking news?
I need that.
I need that. Wow.
Oh.
All right, AJ, good stuff.
All right, AJ.
Good talking to you. I'll text you the details on the bet.
All right, yeah, we're going to have a total recap tomorrow, and a total recall, and a total eclipse of the show, and the smack off rundown. We'll do the smack off post game show tomorrow. How about that? We'll interview like the runners up.
Yeah.
Harry will go out and talk to the fans at the bars.
Right, the guys who didn't win.
The guys, runners up.
Yeah, right. That's
consolation prizes. We have our own strapper right here, Ryan Rusty, right?
Yeah, leader of the strappers. We have the Passan audio. Do you want to do that before we end?
Yeah, I want to hear this. I want to hear just a taste.
How long is it?
We're going to do like 2 minutes.
Okay.
I want to hear Jeff. Did he go on as Jeff Passan from Yahoo Sports?
Or
did he use an alias?
No, I think he was doing an interview with Rome, and then they addressed the guy.
Jeff, in an unprovoked, would-be alleged attack, Cal in Vegas came at you on Twitter, and you shut him down with, quote, "I have no idea who you are. yet he kept trying to come back at you. So what do you make of Cal in Vegas?
Yeah, I had never heard of Cal, and I told him as much. And my favorite part, he introduced himself as the fourth caller in last year's Smack Off, and it really surprised me, Jim. It really surprised me that he could count to 4. Cal's dad wanted to name him Bocephus, but his mom stepped in and said, "No, honey, he's going to have trouble spelling anything longer than 3 letters." I don't know why Cal came after me, Jim. I've never thought of the jungle as a prison yard where on your first day you try and punch the biggest guy because, let's face it, Jim, I've never done this before, and I may well be that guy. I'm already scaring someone whose resume includes a major in calling out fighters who can kick his ass, a minor in dingleberry plucking, and fourth caller in the Smack Off 2016.
Jeff Passan
Memo
joining
to
us.
Cal, you are not funny. You are not smart. You are not anything. The fact that I am wasting my breath right now on plankton of your ilk makes me question my priorities in life. So let me reassess here for a moment. Wait for it. Okay. In that.
Let me give it up.
Yeah. It's pretty
That's
good.
Strong. That is strong. Phenomenal. Epic.
Took a couple of the clones to task.
Absolutely. That's clone on clone crime.
Yeah.
Is that legal now?
We love that.
Now, that was epic, is right. Rome stirring the pot. It's great to have you back. We have Caliendo call in tomorrow and do a fake smack off on this show.
Oh, that would be good.
We got to do that. We got to get Frank on and do our own.
All right, let's bump McMullen and put Caliendo.
I'm sorry, John. John McMullen, it's Smack Off Friday. It's like it used to be when we had Wing Bowl. It's a big day. We're going to get loose here in the Strapper Zone.
Are all the gentlemen's clubs on Delaware Avenue going to get loose afterwards?
You betcha.
Little kegs and eggs.
Oh, yeah. We want to thank everybody today. Buster Olney from ESPN. Jeff Passan, Smack Off contender. The Strapper callers. The regular callers. Everybody who had a take and didn't suck today. Even if you had a take and sucked, we still appreciate you. All the people coming at me on Twitter because they're intolerant hacks and can't deal with anything of substance. Stay in the basement, kids. Stay down there. If you want to come out into the light, you join us every day here, Harry. SiriusXM 211, the only inclusive show on the radio. Yo. We'll see you back here tomorrow for a big COVID-free, sucker-free Friday. Good night, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was another fabulous, terrific Thirsty Thursday. Come back tomorrow. Tell your friends how much fun you have. You guys are our marketing campaign, so let everybody know that this is the only place to alleviate all your boredom, your fears.
Oh, wait a minute. Donovan McNabb is trending, so they must have brought McNabb back up off on local radio today.
Well, y'all can go and figure out what Donovan
They probably called McNabb
is.
to ask him about Foles, and then McNabb
And we will
went off.
see you tomorrow. Mwah. Tomorrow.
Oh, now it's McNabb. Who's better? Who do you got? McNabb or Foles, Harry?
There you go.
There you go.
See, the show never ends.
There you go.
Is that
Who
what
you got?
they do? Wow.
Who you got, Harry?
This knife has a straight edge on it, so it's very easy. Maybe in our world here, to live a happy little mountain.
Thanks for tuning in to the Tony Bruno Show with Harry Mays. Did you miss any of the show? Subscribe and download the audio available on all your favorite podcast apps such as iTunes, Spreaker, etc. Hope to see you back here live Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern on SiriusXM Channel 211 and Twitch.tv.